Previously on the North Gort Boomers.
What it is, right, is that the North Gort Boomers are a bunch of cheeky, tracky-wearing asbos who started off as lowly thugs, being sent off on jobs by Boomer bigwig Brent Rambo and his lieutenants Dougie Arkanoid and that daft ape of Alki. There's Arkid Oedipus Jones, master motorist and motormouth; Smoke, the stealthy blurbfly operator and graffiti artist; Blix, the hyperactive fractal-brained featherhead; and Chester Ballard, a grumpy wanker in a trench coat, can't be fucking mileage to fit in, can't be arse riding in cars. He's done some shit, but I don't know what. So these twats, right, caught Balky bang to rights plotting against Brent. So then they's run him over with a stolen car, and after that didn't work, gave it a go by fucking melting him to the back seat of an X-cab when he went out for a bite to eat, hanging. Ignore the part where a crazy assassin bird with a giant gun and a bunch of bleeding fractal bullets tried to kill the Boomers, and Chester got busted by the Dibble for a bit. Anyway, now the gang's on the up in the Boomers. Happen they got into a scrap with some eye-ties called the Cromerta. They saved a bunch of Cromerta knobs from a fucking burning wicker man. Don't ask. But later they had to take one out to avoid having to kill off a fucking Dibble bellend. Really, don't ask. Oh yeah, and there was no cameras there either. So the 5-0 and the Cromerta are at war. Shell. So that's you's all caught up. Now buzz off, I ain't got a telly on me head. Paint 3 stripes!
Here we go.
All right.
And we are on. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Welcome.
Hello, hello.
Welcome. I don't know what this hand motion was. Kind of terrifying.
Well, welcome everybody here to. I'm gonna turn this off. Let me turn the. Okay, welcome everybody. We're back here. As you saw from the recap here, the Boomers, our players who we'll introduce in just a second, have their PCs as the gang that has been absolutely dominating their particular neck of the woods here in futuristic Manchester. So before we start anything else, I'd like to introduce the players here and then have them say a little quick bit about their PC and kind of what they look like and kind of what their main way of making things happen is.
Cool.
All right, let's start.
Who wants to go first?
Nobody wants to come to the start.
Everyone jump. Chester.
Yes.
So I'm Jack. I'm playing Chester Ballard. I'm a shadow man dog who works for the city, and I'm essentially a right bastard.
that covers it.
Truth.
You'll catch up. You'll understand what I'm talking about.
He's trouble, that guy. I'll go next. I'm Rob. I'm playing Oedipus Jones, Robo-Dogman speaker who tops gears. I drive the gang everywhere, and I'm also pretty much the leader because I'm super awesome. That's really what it gets down to. I'm the best looking of the gang. I'm modest. Fun at parties.
And not delusional at all. He's completely not delusional, people.
You've seen how Oedipus just like turns rooms around and like makes them believe all the nonsense in his head. So I'm not delusional. I'm just getting other people.
Charming. I'm not delusional. I'm charming. That works.
The options are either there is no truth or I am God. Yeah.
Now, those familiar with the cipher system understand the methodology of a speaker. So a speaker who is Oedipus Jones they're usually the ones who like to take charge and absolutely are the leaders, at the very least, in their own brains.
So much leader.
So much leader. So much win. Who else is next?
Okay.
Well, you won't see
Shar,
me standing out in front of the crowd. I'm Shar. My character is Smoke, and she lives up to her name. She's a shadow woman, explorer who controls blurbs. So she is most often not actually seen because she can hide in shadows that she creates for herself. But when you do see her, she's got like blue hair and a bunch of like electronic stuff and pouches all over. And she's got this little drone that's shaped like a fly that kind of hangs out either on her shoulder or like above in the sky, which is filled with other blurb flies. And my favorite one is named Spaz, but I have a couple other ones. And it's more dangerous than me, to be honest.
And what was that thing about that you do with 3 stripes?
Yes.
I'm the one who paints 3 stripes. My side hobby is to be a graffiti artist. So whenever we've been somewhere, you'll know it.
Yeah, marking the territory is a very, very Mank thing to do there, especially in North Gort. And again, the boomers all wear different variations of their own particular take on the uniform of the gang, and it's basically red trackies with 3 stripes. You can fit it out the way you want, but that's definitely something that they like to represent. And yeah, it started when they were just little pups there, and now all of a sudden, that those 3 stripes are showing up not only on the walls all over Manchester, but also in songs. At this point, there's DJs, people are yelling 3 stripes in the clubs. It's happening. So yeah, boomers are where it's at. All right. And last but not least,
I'm Mike, and I play Blix, who is a RoboVurt math magician who hyperprocesses. So he's kind of a robot body with a glob of transdimensional goo from the dimension of dreams inside operating it. And he knows enough math and physics and arcane stuff to be able to manipulate the world around him. And he's super hyperactive.
Although I do enjoy the times, again, this happens with most mathematicians here in Future Manchester, where sometimes the hyperactivity just centers itself on their own brain, and from the outside, they're staring off into space, but on the inside, it is firing left, right, the beauty of math. Oh, the gorgeous formulae. All right. Okay, so again, we've got the recap. We know who we're dealing with these 4 boomers. And as you heard in this absolutely lovely voiced recap there video, they started out very small, started out doing little jobs. There was a lot of intrigue and gang drama, of course. Power moves were made. There were some, shady characters that were dealt with, I guess is one way to put it. There's a lot happening. The major thing right now is that as they're getting bigger, more and more bigger players now are starting to get involved. So, we're finally at the point where, they're pretty powerful, not gonna lie. So yes, the bigger you get, perhaps the harder you fall. I'm not sure if that's a phrase, but it should be. So so that being said, let us start out. When we last left off, there were some questions and answers, and there's a lot of curious and upset boomers right now. There's things that are happening that shouldn't be, and there's people involved that no one still has figured out. So we're going to take it right to the point where we left off last in Manchester, and that's at the point where the 4 here have gotten off to a little spot a little farther away from the warehouse where things have gotten dangerous to talk it out, and we're in North Gort here. And North Gort, for everybody, is there are some nice parts of North Gort, some really nice parts. This is not one of them. Not at all. So just imagine now, again, the smell of, that sour, it's constantly raining, and the pavement when it hits the asphalt, it's that horrible sour smell, and there's a constant sound of traffic buzzing, and the blurb flies coming and going and zipping here and there, promoting the latest feather or the latest song, and playing the latest thing, and proclaiming the latest game cat review. So as you guys are kind of huddled into this little back alley, a ginnel there, in Manchester, close to your warehouse, the four of you guys finally have a chance to talk, just the four of you.
Chester's going to immediately be off put. He's going to be leaning against the wall. Like, I'm assuming I'm still basically banged up from the last encounter with the Chromerta. So he's gripping his sides, like out of breath, just kind of occasionally glancing and growling.
You're also assuming we didn't tie you up.
That is an assumption I'm making. Is it?
Yeah. How do we feel about that, guys? Is he tied up? I mean, let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
All right. Well, we can take him.
You don't get the comfortable chair.
After all you guys have been through, gosh, it's so harsh.
You get the chair with the spring kind of sticking out of it.
We're in an alley. Are there chairs in the alley?
Yeah.
Well, there's one chair, and you shouldn't sit in it.
It's next to the door.
Well, if he starts to be a problem, I can block him in stasis and just keep him hanging here.
Yeah. All right.
You guys sound like there's a lot of love going on here in this little tight.
Everybody's in a great mood.
We're not far from the warehouse, though, Lee.
Not far.
Sorry,
not far at all.
Yeah. And Chester's gonna be like grabbing his side. He's kind of huffing, like leaning against the wall, like, may as well get home. Just like almost barreled over, just completely. He's out of it. He's done.
Which home is that?
Yeah, maybe we should talk about that.
I also had a question because Chester, you have a gun, and I feel like, was there talk about like you having hold of fractal bullets last time? I don't remember.
Yeah. Like, we knocked him out, we disarmed him, and now
I've got nothing.
He's got nothing.
I got my trench coat and my sanity, and that's all I got going for me.
That's right.
So was
you just like sanity? Not so much.
No, I'm talking about the trench coat. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't take away your trench coat yet.
We would take away your gun. So yeah, it's a Blix question. Like, are there fractal bullets somewhere around here? Like, yes.
Chester's just gonna open his coat up. Like, do you see any?
For those of you
just checking
at home, a fractal bullet is something in this futuristic Manchester, again, of 50 million people piled on top of each other, absolute overpopulation. This is still a few decades in the future, but this is still Manchester, England. So firearms are outlawed. Discharging firearms, you need a permit. And so just hearing the sound of gunshots in general, any type of firearm will draw the cops as sure as you're born. So that is something that not everybody is walking around strapped in this type of, this is the punk cyberpunk. So imagine, cricket bats and brass knuckles. So when he's talking about fractal bullets, this is not only something that's beyond illegal as a bullet by itself, but this particular bullet has a virus in it. So when it does actually hit the target, it starts turning their cells into actual light, and it spirals out in a fractal pattern. So within a certain amount of time, a short amount of time, they're turning into a body of light, and then will just disappear into often a giant boom. And they've actually seen this before. So that's...
And to be clear, I ain't got none of them on me.
So, I mean, while you're laying out everything you have on you, maybe you can just tell us more about what we should know about you, because that was not...
What do you mean, what the hell you should know about me? I'm not the one that just cleared a Chromerta Dawn. The hell were you thinking in there, Oedipus?
Did you want me to kill your buddy there? Huh?
Who the hell said he was my buddy? I was trying to get us out of there alive, and the next thing you know, you got a goddamn war on the streets. I'm trying to break up a fight that you started, and this is my fault? You're questioning me?
Yes, I am.
It's goddamn nonsense.
I got it straight from his mind.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
he's your best friend.
Oh, my best friend. You believe a cop is my best friend? You guys are my best friends, and I ain't done nothing but keep you alive for the last 2 months.
well, maybe you should let her read your mind and compare stories.
As you guys are talking, you're realizing someone is listening to the entire conversation. Again, you guys are just talking in the ginnel here, and you see a little shape kind of shuffle over near one of the dumpsters, kind of peek out. You know, it looks like rags at first, and then it kind of shuffles over, and you realize that there's this, looks like a pretty elderly woman. It's hard to tell with all the dirt and grime and everything, but she's anywhere between 70 and perhaps even 90. She looks incredibly, old. She reminds every one of you guys of your grandmother somehow. She has that air about her. And as she shuffles over, with her bag, her bag of stuff, she's looking around at you guys and she doesn't say anything, and she just starts to kind of pick at your uniforms there, taking this and that, looking around, not saying anything. So you're free to carry on talking if you want, but now there's literally somebody picking at
Oh,
you.
God damn it, we got a civilian. Ma'am!
Everybody's a civilian. What
You know who calls people things like civilians?
Yeah, what the hell?
The dibble.
Yeah. Doris at this point is now pulling on smoke. She's pulling
No,
on.
she's not. I get the fuck away from her.
I'll
Yes.
turn around and say, "Hey, little nice old lady, what's up?" And I give my teeth come out and like the pleasant smile of a very attractive robo dog man, just trying to put out all the positive vibes he can.
You know what? Why don't you? This is going to be a roll for you. Let's do a roll now. All right. As says the speaker, trying to take. Now again, she can hear you. She's looking at you. It looks like she's following you. So this should be a regular roll.
All right. Let's try out this fancy interface that Mike built for us.
Yes, excellent.
Oh, I'm rolling a d20.
Yes.
Oh. I rolled a 2.
2. Okay. Yes. She gives, you know what? At this point, she gives you a hug. And it feels good. Damn it. It feels like grandma's hug. There's no reason for you to be enjoying a hug from somebody who, again, not disparaging her whatsoever, but she does certainly smell like the part of the alley that she crawled out of there. Poor dear. But she's giving you a hug. And she's kind of rocking back and forth, and it feels good. And that's the information you're getting.
Hey, I kind of let her do her thing. I'm not like giving off antisocial vibes, but I do want to get out of this embrace as fast as I can.
So I'd kind of like to lean in towards her and like take an overly deep sniff and use sense for nature if I can.
Okay. Let me see. Please do that. Please roll. So that's for those at home. Vurt is one of the 5 types of genetics that can be mixed into this wonderful soup here. Pure Vurts are absolutely illegal and incredibly rare, and you'll usually know it when you see them. People that have some Vurt in them are usually able to hide it, and it's often better for them if they do, especially in most areas of Manchester. So to be able to really sense it, unless they're wearing a shirt that says I'm a Vurt man or I'm Robo Vurt, which is probably not going to happen, then you need to.
I'll just cover this up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yes, let's roll for it. So you're sniffing for
okay.
Vurt.
Yeah. So I will spend my intellect point there, and yeah, no, that is not the way to start a game.
Yes. Right now, what you do smell, again, unfortunately, is she may have spent last night sleeping in some sick, shall we say. And it gets stuck in your nostrils, and I promise not to go too far in this, but everything in your nose right now. You are retching on the side. This is bad. Forget smelling Vurt. You're just trying to smell air again.
There's a lot of like thrashing from underneath my tracky jacket. Yeah, it's
That's right. Oh yes, please. Can you explain how somebody with your particular genetics would throw up? Because I'm sure it's a little different than a pure human.
So I kind of imagine Blix is kind of mostly like the brain of Blix, if you will, is like inside a blob that's inside like, you know, the skeleton of a skeleton type robot kind of thing. So yeah, there's probably a lot of like whatever would be like gagging and retching is probably a certain amount of thrashing underneath the jacket, and then like there's probably like but that's like there's a damp stain kind of down here.
Yeah, because it's coming out of the wrong spot.
That's in my head now. Like Blix is just Krang. That's all.
Yeah.
It's like a skinny hipster Krang.
That was definitely part of the inspiration for him. Yes, that's
solid. Okay, so so that's what happens when a RoboVert tries to lean in close to this old
garbage.
gal.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, more than garbage.
That makes me slightly worried about my own dog senses and being hugged by this lady.
Yes, she at this point reaches, definitely pulls back, and she kind of giggling, back and forth.
What do you want, lady?
And she says, "What do you want, lady?"
And
oh, this is brilliant.
I pull out a tenor. I pull out a tenor and kind of wave it at her, like like I'm teasing a cat or something. Like yeah.
Yes.
I hold it up. I hold it up just like this. You're like, you like that, huh? Do you like this one?
She says, "Trade. Let's trade."
What you got?
So she opens up her bag of, again, she's carrying a purse. They're a pretty large purse. And she opens up, she's looking through, and then she holds her hand out because she wants to trade. So
Well, I kind of want to know what I'm gonna. Whatever. Here you go.
No.
Here's her tenor.
Okay.
Have fun with it. Like do something healthy and shower.
Beautiful.
Yeah, showers are great.
Beautiful. Poor dear. So check this out. This is a thing. So let's roll roll a d20. If it's odd, it's one thing. If it's even, you're going to roll on the cipher table.
Ooh,
I'll let you know that ahead of time. So first 20 is just to see if it's even or odd.
It's even.
Okay. Oh, good for you. Okay, now roll a d100 or so our cipher list there. Let's get this right here.
All right. Lucky number 81.
81. Okay. Sorry, I'm flipping through my own book. Actually, I've got a PDF. Haha. Okay. What is that? That looks like. Sorry, guys. There we go. Okay. Looks like 81 on the cipher list. So she takes the tenor, she puts it in her bag because that's the trade. She likes to trade. And yes, 81 on it. Sorry to do this. I need to get my GM screen. One sec. This is unprofessional.
GM intrusion.
GM intrusion says. Wah, wah, wah. Okay, got it. There we go. Okay, the cipher list, page 360. Those following at home. So 360, number 81 on the list is Super Randomino.
Oh, nice.
Now, okay.
We definitely need to go to the casino after this.
Yes. So she gives you a Super Randomino. Yes, and she takes your tenor and she smiles and she walks away. Just happy as all get out. Everything's perfect in her world right now.
I checked to make sure I still have all my stuff.
You certainly do. No one hugged you.
Well, she turned out. So I spin around and I say, hey guys, I got rid of the crazy lady, and I just paid, and I think for a minute, retail for a super randomino.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to get dry cleaning done, so this could have gone better.
Hey,
But-
what happens? What happens when you put it in your pocket, in your stash pocket or something? This is super randomino. You're feeling around something that used to be there. Uh-oh. Where's your feather?
Guys,
Oh,
just get her.
no,
Yes,
unacceptable.
Get her.
Get her!
Get her.
Blix
I
is
start
going to
running
take
at her.
off down the hall, down the alleyway.
I will say
Blix is-
this
Blix
right
is-
now. She's gotten around the corner. It's been maybe at least almost a minute from this little back and forth. So she's got a good head start on you guys.
How
Alright.
tall is the building?
I am intentionally fast, so I am taking off her direction. Yes.
I send Spaz after her also to keep track of her.
Perfect.
We're looking at
As,
the cinematics here. Like literally, you're looking around the corner. You see all three of the other boomers run out, and then like a good minute later, Chester just kind of pops his head out,
Mhm.
grabs his side, and goes, "God damn it!" And he's like as slowly as he can, moving in the same direction. He's not like he is trying to keep up in the most lazy way possible.
Yes. Yes. So again, as you guys are all going through, looking for everything, making sure, as you did check for yourself, Smoke, what you did actually notice that you have something in your pocket you didn't have before. So, which is odd, so you're realizing when she reached out to grab your thing like this, she stuffed something in your pocket.
I check on it while I'm running.
It is a packaged feather. It is a Chimera classic. This is a
Ooh.
classic, and it's called Pitchwormer. Now, Pitchwormer is a blue. They're okay. But this one is a really old one. It looks maybe 20 years old. Probably about the time that the stash writers were running around, and King Jazz was just a teenager there, or in his early 20s. This is an old classic feather, so it has some value probably. But it's also, as far as the trips, you guys have read about it. You've read the Game Cat that talks about Pitchwormer. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Does anybody have any skills that have to do with either knowledge of Manchester or history, or I'm going to give you guys.
I've got real world history.
Oh, excellent.
Um,
Okay.
I'm specialized in Vurt feathers, and I know Vurt history
Okay.
and mathematical history.
I've got knowledge
Astronomy.
of feathers and real world history.
I think, I mean, Chester, based on his whole everything, has a relatively deep knowledge of Manchester.
Understood.
Like,
Yep.
Like instead of reading World War II history books, he's reading like coffee books about Manchester.
Especially North Gort. So this is also something that wouldn't be too difficult, but I want to see who's going to roll to see if you guys either get a 1 or a 19 or 20.
I got a 5. I'm starting to suspect Mike's roller has some.
See. Okay, cool.
We're gonna die due to a bad PNG.
I got a
Perfect.
20.
Oh, okay.
Well, never mind.
It works.
Yep.
It
Good.
works.
Let's have everybody else roll to see if anybody gets a 1. I'll balance it out. This is a group
So
thing.
I would think that Blix is probably more obsessed with the woman who took off with the good feather.
Right.
Like,
Yep.
he
Exactly.
is like, you're doing it, whatever. I'm following her.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm kinda
She
there.
took tonight. She took our night tonight away from us.
By the way, the feather that got taken was called Shrieking Divgitter, and it is, I don't want to say was, it is an absolute dark classic. This is like one of the most beautiful and heavy trips ever that the Game Cat has talked about, all over the place. He does it all the time. So, yeah.
I was gonna invite Brand to come with us.
Ah, yes. At this point, you guys are kind of trailing out farther away from the warehouse, but that's all right. So with this 20, here's what you're getting. You of course remember all of a sudden, you're like, oh, this must be Dame Doris. You've heard about Dame Doris before. She's kind of a I guess a neighborhood, personality. Not so much in North Gort from time to time, but she hangs around Bottletown, Rushholm, Levenshulme, like that whole area. And she's usually known for finding discarded feathers often. So the things that other people throw away dreams. She'll often, search after, the clubs after, after a hard night for everybody else, and she seems to find all these things. So, also with the 20, here's what I'll tell you. Dame Doris. How's the best way to put this with the 20? Okay, with Dame Doris is not known for, she's a little crazy at first if you don't know what you're getting into, but she's also known for guiding people. She's really heavy into the feather trip. So if she puts something in your pocket, it's probably something she wanted you or you guys to have. So hang on to this, is what you're feeling is like, this feels like even more than just the idea that it's a classic. This is why the hell.
I feel like this was really special that she gave it to me.
Special.
Even though I'm really pissed off at her.
Special like boring?
Yeah, special like boring.
So is she, would you say that we can tell that she's homeless? Sorry, a home challenge individual?
Yeah, she is actually, she's known
for the term home free.
Home free, sure.
She's again, with the knowledge of what of what she is, she's known for always being seen walking around. In fact, kind of the legend, or one of the things that is heard is that everybody always sees her, that she never sleeps. So she hangs out, she takes little rests, but she never sleeps. So she never stops in one spot.
Does she have a registered hole?
She might. You would have to check actually that. So what he's talking about now is a beggar hole. In the future of Manchester here, there's public assistance programs, and there's it's a mega city. It's 50 million inhabitants to look after or ignore, the way depends how you look at it. But the beggar hole is something, it's quite literally a hole in the ground in certain neighborhoods that is registered to a homeless individual who then is allowed to ask for money there, and it comes with a little bit of usually a subsidy that allows you drip feed assistance, which is a separate program. So the lowest rung of the social net when it gets absolutely beyond the worst is a beggar hole. So you don't know, and you wouldn't know that from your 20 either, but you certainly could check.
Does anybody have any connections with the city that we could maybe use?
Chase her down first.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
I think we're all talking about this while we're running after.
Yes. Again,
you're back there hanging out and talking, and Blix is like, gone.
Yep. Nice. Now, actually, so now you've gone out of the Ginnel. You're onto the main street here, or one of the main streets. And this is Kirk Avenue. So you're down there, and it's packed, as it always is. This is a Friday night, I should say, or a Friday evening. So it's, I believe, was that when you guys finished off last? It was Saturday. Okay. So it was a Saturday evening, I believe, when everything went down. Okay, so still Saturday, which would mean that it's very crowded. 50 million people means incredibly, incredibly crowded. So you've just hit the wall of people here. For those of you that have ever been to Gen Con, it's like the worst part of that, going through the crowds. For those of you that have been to Disney World or Disneyland or something like that, it's like, imagine the most packed day, or any convention, any place where you just can't wait to get out of there because everybody's pushing in on you and no one wants to be there. they just want to get from A to B and they can't stand it, and there's blurb flies everywhere, and people are, probably trying to pick your pocket all the damn time. So that's what you've now wandered into. Let's do a roll for everybody now to see about where you're coming from, or what you can see for her.
Okay. 16.
Okay. All right.
I got a 1.
11.
I like that. Okay. And let's see if anybody else can balance this out with a 20. Your hope. At least that's my house rule. Like if you can hit, if a 20 will balance out a 1 if we're doing a group roll.
I
Okay.
only got an 11. So.
Okay. Shar, have you rolled?
I got a 3.
Okay, see. Oh, I see it now. Okay, perfect. All right, with this one, you see her. You see her. She's gone to the left. You're sure of it. Not the right. She's gone to the left. Hey, everybody. You see he's a dog man. He's usually great at this thing. His senses are peak. They're top. Yeah, you guys are messed up a little bit, but come on. He says, or he looks, it's like it's to the left. So up to you guys. You trust your senses there, Chester. You trust those senses.
But wasn't Chester?
When has Chester and Oedipus ever gone wrong in terms of guiding us towards something? Yeah.
Truth.
I get
Truth.
every
Chester's
time
on.
I'm right. So yeah, I'm gonna slowly, like, I imagine, like, once they hit that crowd of people, they all slow down, and Chester's like walls up behind him. So goes, she went left, and he just starts going left.
Mm-hmm. And you guys are used to that.
I'm pretty sure she went right, but I'm not gonna let that asshole out of my sight.
Yep. Nice. As you guys are, again, trying to push through the crowd, a swarm of blurb flies comes in, and this is about the latest chimera feather that's coming through. And this is, again, for those at home, imagine a cloud of butterflies, monarch butterflies, like you see in those wonderful documentaries. But instead, these are metallic butterflies, and their wings have logos on them in tiny lights that sometimes will flash, sometimes will spin, sometimes will show headlines. A lot of them have speakers as well. These particular ones are specifically meant to proclaim, this is advertising to proclaim the latest feathers. So the chimera swarm comes in, and it's in your general area, and everybody around you is trying to swat it away. People are covering their ears. This is too much. This should be illegal, and now I need everybody to roll to see if there's a lot of rolls actually. That's what it says. Okay, so
20.
Hey now, okay, finally, okay. Keep
4.
going. Okay.
Oh,
So you're-
11.
Okay.
9,
No.
but I've got an asset with Spaz.
True. Absolutely
cover me.
true. So for you, yes. The 9 and the 4 there. Sorry guys. So your ears are ringing. Blix, you're the ocular, spheres or whatever your eyes, robo eyes are just buzzing like this. It is too loud. It's way too loud. You feel like you can focus on nothing but trying to get away from this. Also,
I like
yeah.
just smoke up because like it's not gonna really help, but it's just what I do
Nice.
when I'm like overwhelmed.
Nice. So can you explain what to those others what it looks like when a shadow person actually, or somebody with shadow genetics, which is one of these 5 that some people have when they show shadow, or yeah.
So for me, the smoke comes out of my eyes and mouth, and it just comes into a cloud that kind of coalesces over me, and then I just fade away from sight. And it's not like you just see a shadow where I was, like a cloud of smoke where I was. You just don't see me at all.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. And Spaz kind of is always near your shoulder, kind of doing your thing. She has her own 2 blurt flies.
I got 3 now because
3. That's right. You
because I
hacked.
stole the camera
Damn
from
it.
the news.
Awesome. So yeah, at this point she's able to control 3, which is crazy town. So yes. Now, so for you, that's what happens. Oedipus, again, your poor dog ears. These are high frequencies. These are awful. Perfect. As you guys are wandering down, Chester, you're swatting this stuff away, and as you're swatting it away, you're turning around. You're turning around in circles, and as you're swatting, you catch her. There, she went right. Damn it, she went right. She's way the hell down in the end of the crowd, but you saw her. Whatever it was, the twirling
I
around.
doubled back and went right, guys. I see her up there.
Go.
You did-
Go.
He's swatting
Well,
and
it's
he's
like whatever, as long as I'm not
that,
here.
like the Chester thing, where it's just like arms and shoulders out, just like pushing through the crowd, just like making a beeline, like opening the sea behind him, just to make room for the boomers to follow him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in.
About right.
I'm in pain, but I still utter. She didn't turn around because she went right the first time.
You don't know that.
And I cover my ears. Start pushing through.
Perfect. Yes. Now at this point, where she's heading is actually towards Bottletown. She's not far at all from the border of that. And again, this is Bottletown is again it shares the border with North Gort there, but it's not a good area, and it has quite a lot to do with the fact that decades ago at this point there was a a strike for people that were for recycling. So all the glass bottles and everything like that, people they stopped collecting it. So the bins overflowed, and within a matter of weeks, they were a couple feet high, and then within a matter of months, there was broken glass everywhere. You could hardly get through certain streets. Certain ginnels were absolutely filled up. Within a year, everybody else in the neighborhoods around, including North Gort, was dumping their trash and especially glass bottles into Bottletown. And so now at this point, 25 years on, it just is glittering. It looks like a beautiful diamond palace from far away. The closer you get, all you see are these jagged, absolutely razor sharp, pieces of glass everywhere. So cabs charge a lot extra and have special wheels to get through there. There's very little you can get to by car through there. It has terrible gangs, the OG Brits and the Tortures. So again, this is something all of you guys at the side of North Gort would know. She's heading into Bottletown. That's where you're at.
Ugh. How tall are the buildings around here?
Let's see. If you're in this area, probably the very short, maybe 6 or 7 stories. A lot of North Gort is full of these absolutely, tall skyscrapers, things that look like dominoes almost, with these circular window and vents cut through them, and so you're in a really tall area of town. But this, as it gets closer to Bottletown, it gets a little bit better. 6 to 7 stories.
How far away is our car?
Back at the warehouse, so back down the Ginnel, and then maybe 5-minute walk because it's through alleyways.
And I would say that is the warehouse still overrun by cops? Like, is the car lost to us?
You can go back and check.
I might go car shopping later.
Yeah, I think you might.
Yeah, Oedipus can go back and check. Yes.
Yes. I will totally go back and check my wallet.
Yeah.
Yes. Buy, I mean steal.
Yep, there it is. So yes, last time again, the Boomer hideout, the gang warehouses, was overrun with cops. There's a whole lot happening. So yeah, perhaps. So again, she is heading towards Bottletown. At this point, again, Saturday night. You are hearing, all of a sudden you're realizing that there's a lot of people wearing kind of red and orange shirts. A lot, especially, and they all seem to be Robo-Men or Robos or Robo-Dogs. Anything with Robo seems to be rocking it, and it's a Chroma shirt, and Chroma is what Rome has been renamed, and so they have their own Vurt ball team. And tonight's the big match. It is Manchester City, against Chroma. Now, Man City that's your guys, team sometimes, or team of some people in North Court. Others, it's Manchester United. Again, you guys are walking around wearing red, so
Here somewhere, right?
yeah, probably not too many Man City fans in the group. Exactly. So
Yeah, it's like, can we go find somebody where we can bet against both teams to lose? Because
Yeah, it's like who do I dislike more?
that's a good. It's a pretty normal life problem to have there. Yeah. So again, at this point, you're also noticing that there are posters up everywhere, and again, a lot of these posters are a lot of these posters are projected on the walls by these other swarms of blurb flies. So they'll find a flat space and they'll all project together, and you'll see, tonight is the big, within an hour it's starting, and everybody's heading, to and from their different places where they're going to watch it tonight. The difference is, again, you're not anywhere right near the stadium, but you are certainly near a lot of these different pubs and clubs that have their own. Some clubs that are frequented by mostly people with robogenetics are almost certainly going to be, rooting for Chroma, which again is. Chroma is a place where has the highest concentration of people with robogenetics, and that's everything from pure robo to, someone with 5 different mix of something. As long as 4 different mix, as long as you've got robo in you, you're pretty cool there. So the Cromerta, by the way, these mafiosos that
Our
you guys
favorite.
befriended for just a moment, just a beautiful moment.
Literally the shortest amount of time you could befriend someone.
They still think we're friends.
Yeah,
Yes,
they
Told
don't.
everybody who would have known otherwise.
Can you recap for everybody, just super quick or fairly quick, what happened in that last little moment there?
So what it is, right? I was asked by the Don of the Comerta on site to kill a cop, and while our activities are at best seen as gray market activities, I had issues with this request, so I chose to instead turn around and fire a projectile in his face.
Yeah.
And then there were more guns all of a sudden.
We started a war. That's what you did.
Yes. Yes.
I mean,
you want to get
not between us and them.
Yeah, no, it's not our
I didn't
war.
say you started our war. I said you started a war.
A war, okay. I
True.
can live with that. I can live with a war.
Yeah.
Yep.
So basically, there were about 24 of them, and so we maybe lit them on fire, melted them, and then collapsed a building on them on our way out.
I think
And
we
then
have some shelves on them before we were
they
out.
were flaming shelves.
Okay, yeah. fair.
Besides all that, though,
Because
And then,
nothing
there were
really
no
and then
videos
the
here.
police
This is all
came.
conspiracy
Yeah.
rumors that we don't substantiate in any
Fake news.
fake
And-
news.
yes.
True.
And then when the police showed up, they were like, "Oh, the Cromerta collapsed a building. We gotta, take them down." And now the police and the Cromerta are at war. I mean, the Dibble.
Shell.
Yes. Truth. Nice. So, yes, while only you guys and, the MPD and the upper echelon of the Cromerta are the only ones really that know what has just happened, yes, it is without a doubt, war has already started. Again, now the Chroma is, it's good timing is what I'm saying. So this vert ball game that's going on now, again, you're seeing that the kickoff has gone. Again, everything's being projected, on the people, on the sides of the walls, this area, and they're showing the vert ball game as you guys are still racing after as best you can through the crowds, Dame Doris as she goes towards Bottletown. So again, the crowd gets even more difficult to walk through. Everybody slows down to watch, everything being projected on the walls. Yes, again, you're near pubs where you could go in to bet. You're near all this kind of thing, but at the same time, you're chasing after somebody. So
I feel like the fact that we are forced to watch a match between wankers and tots counted as an asset for running faster.
Yes, you know what? Yeah, GM intrusion. You have to watch. You have to watch.
No.
And now the team that is, the main team of the people that definitely want you guys dead. Without a doubt. Yes. So we're going to do one roll here. This is a traveling through to see if you can catch up or make up the space between you and Dame Doris before she gets to Bottletown. This is something.
19.
Okay, damn.
14.
And I get a minor effect with that. So
minor effect.
Yes, it does.
Mike or okay, excellent. Okay, so yes, minor effect is.
I learned something unexpected but useful.
Okay.
So,
yes. Okay. So let's say you not only make up the space between you and her to the point where it's there's hope, but I'm going to say that you get within a few yards of her at this point, and you guys are within like leaping, pushing, punching some distance to clear the crowd away. You're like one rush away from getting to.
I imagine like Chester's so frustrated he just growls so when Chester is overly anxious, high adrenaline, not only does his voice become booming, but his shadow effects sort of become super pronounced. So he's just gonna everybody out of the goddamn way, and his spur is gonna stand on Ingest, this smoke come out, and the crowd's just gonna part to move, and as soon as it parts, we can see Doris it's a beeline. She's crowd's in front of her, slowing her down, but we've got a straight shot.
Perfect. Nice, and yes, it's exactly what's happening now. People are certainly moving out of your way, especially once you start yelling. And again, he's also has shadow genetics, so there's smoke that when he gets angry, you see steam out of the ears. It's for real, kind of thing, more or less.
And also, while we're following, now that we're in range, I want to disorient her with my disorient full intellect power.
Okay.
It costs me 1 intellect. But I have an intellect edge, so it's free.
Nice.
And it makes her actions harder by 1 step.
Okay. Okay. By 1. Okay. All right. Yes. So that is happening now. Again, the match is going on like crazy. Manchester City has just scored its first goal. So yes, you're right next to her. Yes, you've managed to do that, and you're figuring it's going to work. And the crowd goes crazy. People are crazy because you may be you may be going for Manchester United. You may not like Manchester City usually, but when they're playing Chroma, everyone hates those guys, So most of the people walking through the crush of this street, elbow to elbow, shoulder to shoulder, are throwing up their hands and cheering, go Man City.
Man, too bad we don't have any baths. We could crowd surf.
Yeah, that's truth. That's the truth. Yeah, just make it slick on everybody and just jump over. Cool. So yes, so this is very difficult at this point. Well, technically it is challenging, shall we say. But now, what do you guys want to do? and she's running away from you, trying to get away. You guys are at the edge of Bottletown, but again, the road continues. But it's a challenging, intimidating thing if you're trying to reach her with anything that isn't a projectile. You know what I'm saying?
Does the disorienting make it easier for us because she's
It does.
slower?
It does.
Do we have, like, can I get a line of sight to a beat on her and see her?
You can see the back of her head. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see her shuffling through as quick as she can.
Jester's got a nice.
Then she's going to stop moving entirely.
Oh, see, okay.
Okay, so explain, please, what's happening in this math magician's head.
Yeah, I think you see Blix kind of do the thing where he's like tracing out like shapes in the air, except like, you know, it does leave like little lingering like trails of light, and like drawing circles and like lines and like, you know, numbers, kind of like twist it, right, and like boop, and like like a little flash of light that goes out and like winks around her, and then she just kind of
yeah, the mid stop. So yes, I'm gonna. Yeah, it's line of sight. You guys made up the time. She's right there. It's not hitting her. You see it. So it works. It works. She stops. Now, I will say that the people around her are pretty freaked out.
good.
Again, yeah. If that's what you're going for, that's what just happened. Mathemagic is something that, again, it's a little bit of a misnomer. It has to deal with physics and numbers and mathematics, but it certainly resembles a lot of magic half the time. Comes with a heavy price as far as the person trying to get through that.
Sufficiently advanced technology becoming indistinguishable from magic. Yes.
Absolutely, exactly. There it is. So yeah, so she's stopped, and other people again are starting to kind of weird out a little bit, certainly around her. Yes, so she's stopped, so everybody else can walk right up to without rolling or anything like that. You guys now are around a stopped Dame Doris, who looks like she's about mid wobble, and then she stops. You know, she's got her bag, and you know she's reaching out to try and get past people, and she's stopped.
Are we able, when something's in stasis, can we interact with it without breaking the stasis?
No. You can't like pick up a bubble. It's not like picking up the force field and they're stuck inside kind of thing. If depending on what it is, depending on them. Yeah, it depends on them. I mean, if they were like really already messed up or super low level or something like that, it'd be pretty easy to drag them, at least most like as if they had rigor mortis for a while. So if you want to move them, that does start to make it.
I don't want to move. I'm just wondering if I can. She's got that purse. I'm just wondering if I can slide the purse off of her without.
I'm gonna say that she has it clutched like this. Okay. So yeah, but yeah, I see where you're going. But you could do that, and you guessed that you could yank the purse and run, and she would have just enough time, you know. So that's possible.
And then we would have drawn the attention of everyone here to become purse snatchers while everybody's watching. It'll be great.
Why did you say that? Oh, damn. It's perfect. Cool.
All right, so if I'm in stealth mode, can I sneak into the purse, just grab our div getter, and then leave?
You can try. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna say this is really. I'll use correct terminology. This is a formidable task. Although with stealth just helps you with other people around, it doesn't help you get this. But this is to actually do this without breaking our concentration. Okay, so formidable. So again, if you want to use formidable is something that you would be using effort in order to hit, even if you're lucky.
Well, we're what, like tier 3?
Mm-hmm.
So,
tier 3
the first tier of effort costs 3, and then the second tiers after that cost 2 each,
2.
Right?
Mm-hmm. 2 each.
And I could do 3 tiers of effort.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minus 2 is 5. So I'm going to spend 5 intellect.
Nice. And so for those at home as well, if you're familiar with the cipher system or even semi-familiar, using effort is something where if you really want something to count and if you really have to make it count, you are actually pulling from these pools, your pools, which again leaves you less if something is damaging you or trying to, it does open you up the more that you use this effort. But again, if you want to make it count, you have that option. All right. So with effort, with 3, you said 3?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
I got a question. I've got a power called partially there that literally makes me partially there. Like I kind of phase out of existence. Would that help? Like I could, instead of like opening her bag, I could reach into it.
I don't think so. And I'm not just because there's the stasis thing, which would absolutely break it immediately.
Yeah,
I
that
would
probably
say.
would.
But yeah, you feel that if you tried to do that, not only would one, you'd lose your stealth because even the shadow, everything with going into that, you can see it. So it would really, you're getting kind of internal red flags. But if you'd like to,
Okay.
But so
Right.
otherwise,
Otherwise, I've only got like a hiding and sneaking skill that might help. Because like being sneaky is pickpocketing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sure.
All right.
Okay, so it's now down to difficult, which is wow.
Do you have any ciphers that could help you? Because I know you had like 3.
Remind me what Mad Dog does.
Feather, don't you? Okay. Let's see. Mad Dog. Let's get it right
Dog
here.
2020. It gets you fucked up.
Woohoo! Which is true. Let me know. Okay. Mad Dog 2020. Yes. So, a miniature bottle of yellow liquid derived from canine hormones. Effect: for 10 minutes per level of the cipher, the user gains +2 to their might edge. User adds 1 day of the lasting damage effect malaise, which is number 1 to all intellect rolls. So it comes with a bit of it. Yes.
All right, so not useful in this case.
No, because it's might.
Well, sorry about that.
And Doggy Fresh is social, so nope.
True.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it. Let's stop hedging our bets.
So here it is.
17.
12. Nice. Okay, excellent. Okay, good.
Feather.
I wasn't expecting. Okay, good.
Blix like tackles you in this huge hug. I'm so happy. Thank you so much.
Yep, you got it.
Because I know who she is, and she gave me this feather, and I feel that it was very special of her to do so. I'm going to trade her.
Oh, good.
Doggy Fresh.
Excellent. Absolutely. That's what she'd want. That's nice of you. Okay, cool. So at this point, you guys, she's still in stasis because you made that roll. So she's still stuck there. Again, her eyes are looking in the same spot. You're imagining in her head is just going, why can't I move? What's going on? Oh, shit, someone's in my bag. And then probably in her own mind, how nice. Yes, always trade. So Dame Doris is still kind of stuck there. And you guys have striking div getter back.
This thing wears off eventually, right, Blix?
Sometime.
Right. And then I like go back to Blix. I'm like, I got it. Let's go.
Okay. Yes. I think it does last for, what is it?
Like a minute or two?
Yeah,
10 minutes.
1 minute.
1 minute per level of cipher. I can't remember.
No, stasis. You surround a foe of your size or smaller with swirling waves of magical energy. Sorry.
Yes, true.
Keeping it from moving and acting for 1 minute as if frozen solid.
Excellent. Okay. So yes, you certainly have enough time to get your way back through the crowd, back towards away from Bottletown if you want. Unless you want to keep going into Bottletown. Anyone? Are you sure?
Pretty sure no. Like, it's a terrible place.
No, I mean, this time of year?
Come on, the OG Brits. We can go hang out with them again. Tortures are in there somewhere.
Oh,
yeah.
We do need to go get that hat.
Yeah, we do need to get that hat, but maybe some other time after we figure out what the hell just happened in that warehouse.
Perfect.
I think we got to get back to the headquarters. Tell Rambo what's up.
Yeah, tell him about your friend, Dibble. Dibble.
Yes.
You dibble dealer.
Nice.
Chester growls and just turns around and goes back through the crowd like he's
I
just.
pull out a notebook and make a note to trademark dibble dealer.
Yes, certainly. Yes, that'll be a great vert. Yeah, maybe you can tell Chimera. Okay, so you've got Div Getter back. You're not far from the warehouse. As you guys are, muscling your way through, and then finally get into the Ginnel and getting closer to the warehouse, you're seeing that the police are still there. Manchester PD is still there. Certainly not what it was. It looks like they've taken everybody away from inside. If they have, there's no paddy wagons out front. But the Manchester PD at this point, though, has its Shadow Cop division on it. Shadow Cops are a specific division within the Manchester Police Department where almost all of them are robo-shads, which is half robo and half shadow. Some of them are bipedal and look, similar to like robots with smoke swirling in certain areas, and others, and a lot of them are, these almost like drones zipping around. So, and they can shoot these orange beams at you to info beams to get all of the information. So the fact that the Shadow Cops are there, if you doubted it before that this was big, this is for sure. So Shadow Cops are there. Getting any closer.
Okay. So as a question then to everybody else, is this? Do you think that we have a reason to go back inside there? That we need to keep track of what's going on in there? Was there something else inside there? Because I don't remember.
I think I volunteered. I'm going to volunteer my suggestion by doing, which is I turn around in a 180-degree turn like Grandpa Simpson when he sees Bart. And I start walking away from the warehouse as fast as possible unless I see pretty cars that I can steal.
Nice.
And I kind of wait for people to start following me, but
I check the Vurt ball score
one way.
like I'm a normal person, but nobody can see me anyway because I'm still.
Yeah. Now, also, as you guys are again seeing this thing, you do also recognize there's other MPD people there. Do you see this? The same. The one basically Oedipus that you saved his life. This dogman constable. And he's still got his yellows on because it's started raining, and he's talking back and forth.
Oh, is this was the cop from the warehouse?
Oh yeah, it's your bestie.
Yeah, so Oedipus, again, you'd never seen this person before.
Chester's gonna he's gonna meet, like, he catches wind of this cop who fucking lying about him. He's gonna walk up and I'm just gonna immediately just deck him in the face.
I'm gonna be reading Chester's mind as he does this.
Oh, my mind is just like, my mind is just literally like my name does not belong in your mouth.
Nice. Okay. So
yeah, he just walks up and just like right at like dead center. The guy doesn't have a chance to react. He's just like, I don't know what the hell you think we are. Who the hell you think I am? But you keep my mind. You keep my name out of your mind and your goddamn mouth. And he just spins around and walks back.
Okay. Yes, and yes. As you're walking back, and again, Smoke, you're getting this. You can't quite get to him in time to pull him away, but damn it, you've seen this red fire before. There is rage. This is true rage. And he just walked up to, out of fucking nowhere, walks right up to and punches a constable in the face, knocks him flat. You hear a little dog, woo, little yelp thing because he's part dog. And he hits the deck. Shadow Cops absolutely surround you guys, and they pull out the big guns. Now, they do have big guns. They're one of the few in Manchester who do. They actually have it strapped on the outside. So you now all have guns pointed at you, and you've decked the crap out of a cop, knocked him to the floor, whimpering, and he's looking up. At this point, grabbing his nose, and he's trying to yell, trying through the blood. He's angry at you. He's trying to punch you now. the shadow cops are pulling him off of you. He's not stopping. They literally have to yank him to the ground and knock the wind out of him to keep him from just destroying you. He's yelling, you dirty boomer, you dirty, gang member. Of course, he uses better terms than that, or at least more colorful ones. But yeah, he's not having it. By the way, guys, you now all have the shadow cops pointing guns at you.
Are they at everyone or just Chester's the one that punched?
Yes, and the first half second goes right to you, and then the next half second goes to everybody else wearing what you're wearing, because 4 people just walked out wearing matching shit, and it goes pop and popped a cop. So this is the shadow cops.
You're all dressed for your team, and your team isn't playing today, so
very
obviously
clearly
something's up.
like a gang.
Yeah.
Not like
What the
you're like, I don't know these guys.
This is the
Real
ideal
accident.
This is the ideal part for GM intrusion. This is ideal. Okay. One, we're gonna say that if you jump after him, if you continue this getting to him.
No, this is
okay.
Like as soon as Chester decked the whatever his name was, said he spun around, he was just heading the other way. As soon as the shadow cops put guns at, he's just gonna
Yep. Okay. With the guns on you guys, and here's the GM intrusion. The one who looks like the DI in charge, detective inspector in charge of at least this particular very fresh investigation. Shadow cops still work under MPD, even though they feel autonomous, and they certainly act it. This one is coming over here, to get into your face, coming from inside the warehouse. He's seen this happen, and he looks you right in the face, and he points at you, and he says, "Explain yourself." And the GM intrusion is this. No, I think you know. It's already a rough situation, so you're going to have to talk your way out of the cops. You're going to have to explain yourself, and if you take it, you guys get the XP. If you don't, then you feel that the cops are just going to take you in, because they're fixing to knock you guys to the ground and cuff you. They can't believe what's happening.
So what you're saying is I should lie to the cops.
What happened?
So I'm just gonna be like,
Yes.
Hands up. Chester's gonna be like, dude fucked my sister.
Right. That, to be honest, you're not a speaker, are you? No, you're a warrior, I'm sure.
Oedipus, back me up, man.
Yeah.
Back me up.
You totally fucked his sister.
Yes. So
Twice, guys.
So the fact is this.
These are special speaker stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The DI is not having this. He's not, he doesn't look very convinced. So he's looking right at you, Oedipus, for a explanation, because Chester's just been like, hey, you explain it, basically. So it's on you. So you're going to take this. So 2 XP, 1 for you, and then 1 for someone else.
I'll give it to Chester because
he'll need it.
He'll need it.
Sorry. It's kind of true.
I'm trying to remember spin identity, how specific it is. Like, it's about pretending you're a different person.
Yes. Now, tier 3 especially, well, it's still the same power, but I believe
we're tier 3.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why
Except
you guys are.
For you, traitor.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, you can. It could be. You can try to make it as. Let me know what you're trying to spin it into, and if it's something way out of the norm, I'll maybe make you roll for it. But
I'm going to spin that I take the DI aside, kind of like not too friendly, but kind of like guide his like put my arm kind of like gesture him in a direction. Like, my friend is very ill. He doesn't even have a sister.
Yeah.
He's an only child. I mean, it explains some of the issues. Dogs should not be only children. Dogmen. I'm
Do you say that because at that point you realize that you realize that there's a tail, kind of not wagging but behind him. He's part dog too, so.
Yeah, I mean, you should know, right? You've got siblings, and yeah. So I'm kind of, I mean, I'm not like a professional healthcare professional, but I'm trying to help my friend get better. I just kind of have to work with his delusion right here. I'm really sorry that he tried to punch your colleague with the yellow jacket, who's clearly not a shadow cop, but I mean, I'm sure he's a great cop too, but just not as good as a shadow cop. And yeah, so I mean, I think it's best if we just take him out of here. He's got some explaining to do about his recent actions to his friends because he's clearly not processing well. It's not what it looks like.
Okay. Spin identity. Is that an activation cost?
I'm going to spend 2 end points.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Does
actually,
fast talk help too?
Sorry?
Does fast talk help too?
No, it doesn't.
If you had to roll for it or something.
So since I have an edge, do I spend 1 point from my pool?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. I can't really. Yep. Rules say I can't argue that. So.
Yeah.
So spin identity. Guns are still drawn, but he at least has given the fact that they're not going to tackle you guys to the ground and just beat you silly, because that's going to happen, or you feel like it's going to happen any second. So he goes through, and at this point he stops, and he hands over. He says, "Card, your card."
Do I know what card he means?
You're figuring health professional.
Oh, man.
You can talk. You just need somebody counterfeiting behind you as quick as you talk.
So, yeah. I mean, I kind of want to explain that we're only wearing red tracksuits because our friend is really into red tracksuits, and that I didn't bring my card.
That would be a separate role, and you can use fast talk and stuff like that. But there's no longer spin identity. This is something where he's asking for something. You need to give it to him.
I'm going to go with that as a fast talk.
Okay. Well. Okay. And you're going to use any effort or something?
Is fast talk rolling as well, or? It's gonna cost me 1 inch, so with the edge, it wouldn't cost me anything actually.
Okay. This is well, yeah. One way or another, this is definitely a roll because again,
okay. That's fair. All right.
Punched a cop. I mean, I can believe it, but.
Well, let's see. What can I use? I'm thinking really deeply on what I can do.
As you're thinking deeply and everything, you hear nearby the crowds go wild. Sounds like Man City got another goal.
As I'm kind of trying to make up my mind, I ask him kind of like, are you a City or a United fan?
Okay. He says United all the way. He says Man City's a bunch of punters, absolute trash. They're rubbish, all of them.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, between those teams, the only people losing are the people that have to watch it.
Roll.
I roll a 10.
Okay, you don't get it. But you. But I enjoyed it. Okay. At this point, he gives the this and that, and you guys find yourselves hands behind your backs. Shadow cops have you. A paddy wagon at this point pulls up, and you have so many large guns trained on you guys, and these open doors are right there, and they're cuffing you, and they're leading you in, So again,
so new characters next
there's a small warning. You can think about whatever you want to do, and you can even try something, but your general vibe is you've never had this many guns trained on you, and you've never felt more like hopeless as far as places to run. Okay.
Okay. So.
You
Oh,
asked for it.
Chester.
Oh, Chester, what did you do?
Oh, it's cool though. We're gonna get to do a feather this session. It's just going to be the Strange Ways prison feather. That's like,
Damn it,
Let's not do Strange Ways. I hear it's terrible.
bro.
is it?
I'm not kidding. I'm not
Dang
kidding.
it.
So, you guys are going to Strange Ways. So, the paddy wagons of the MPD, especially for offenders like you guys, always leads to Strange Ways. Now, Strange Ways is the largest prison in Manchester, one of the largest prisons in the world at this point in time, and they found a very simple and kind of heartless way of keeping people I guess subdued while incarcerated. So you go into Strange Ways and you're force fed a black feather that's basically their version of like a backwards secure Vurt. So you're stuck in this horrible, bland, nightmarishly boring reality that you can't move from, that you can't do anything but scream to the void. Your body in the real world is just sitting there on your little drawer, and just like at morgues, you're put into a drawer, and you're put in. You got your bag, you got your tubes, and you're basically on life support in hell in your mind until the city council decides and your trial goes through, this and that. So you guys are on your way to Strange Ways.
We didn't even do anything.
Wait, are we actually on our way? Hang on.
Well, no, the doors are open, but that's you're doing.
He's the
So
one
I have a
that picked
question.
the cop.
Hang on, I have a question. So
Yes.
part of the my shadow powers at tier 3 is partially there. So 10 minutes my flesh is partially ethereal. Does that mean I really can't be gripped? I can't be touched? I don't know, like partially ethereal is
It means it's going to mean that whoever's gripping you at the moment probably is going to lose pieces, this and that. You're partially there, so it'll take them mechanically speaking, it's going to take them a little while to really focus on what's just happened, try to grab you, and even then it's going to be difficult for them. You're going to be
okay. So Chester's gonna so he's got his arms up, he's watching this unfold. He sees, is there any like looking through the crowd, can I spot any open, like just a small opening of a few people standing a few inches apart that I could dart into?
Yes. You're again. The partially there works. You'll activate it.
Okay.
And then actually, let's go in order, because this is. It sounds like it's not quite. Well, maybe it's going to be combat, but it's something that is a situation.
There's going to be a lot of people with a lot of questions, so we're going to need to figure out who's doing what. Yeah.
True. True. Okay, so let's roll for initiative. 5e. No. Okay, so let's see who's.
So I'm gonna do. So my Chester's plan specifically is he's gonna partially there. So you're gonna see like his fur, everything's just gonna go smoke, and look for that opening, and he's just gonna like he's bitching out. He's just like done.
Okay, so that's your plan. Okay, so we'll hold on to that before we do the roll. What about everybody else?
I'm curious about like what this paddy wagon is actually like that they were trying to line us up for. Is this like a big thing? Is it like a smallish van kind of deal? Like, is it?
This is one of the smaller ones. It's not like that giant tanker, the size, with the armored ones that you guys have already seen up close. However, it is. It would fit probably 10.
If we were free on the inside, are there other people in it? Is
that
mark.
You don't know yet, actually.
Okay.
That you can't see yet. You're being drawn. It would hold 10 people. Sometimes they'll squeeze up to 25, 30. But yeah, these are, think of it as like a really terrible like airport shuttle
Okay.
size.
Are they restraining us? Like, do they have cuffs on us or anything like that?
They are grabbing you and they are cuffing you. Yes, they are in the process of going in and cuffing.
Then I would like to activate one of my brand new skill abilities, which is action processor, which is sort of the Matrix. I know kung fu.
Oh, nice.
I get to pick a physical task of my choice, which I'm trained in for 10 minutes, and I'd like to pick like escape artist.
Absolutely.
Escape artist.
There it is.
Well, hey, that gives me an asset for escape artist, and I'm already trained in climbing and jumping, so I just got to get free and get up a wall and
Wow.
Then
Okay.
I'll figure out how to find you guys.
Okay, so that's
on their own.
Sorry.
Is everybody going to end up on their own? Because that's what it's kind of starting to sound like.
We'll see. We'll see. So that's your plan. Now, Oedipus, what's your plan to do this?
I honestly have no plan at this point.
That sounds about right.
I mean, okay. Here's something. The tires of the van. Tires with a Y, no less. Are they? Would that be like something I could use my finger guns to maybe make them pop?
Yeah. Yeah, you have those lasers, literally like cool guy lasers. Pew pew pew. Yeah, with lasers you can see they're partially armored because you're right next to Bottle Town. The MPD in all this area does. Yeah, you could probably get one.
Okay.
With both fingers if you pew-pewed, you can get one. Your hands are being put behind your back right now.
Okay.
So part of that role is going to be getting out and be able to do that. Okay, so that's your plan. Smoke, what's your plan?
I'm gonna wait until I'm cuffed until I turn partially there, because then they won't actually be paying as much attention to me. So
Nice.
like they're watching somebody else escape and they're like all like running after them, and then I'm like I disappear and like turn half like there, and then I just kind of slink away.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
or try to slink away.
Yeah, I try and slink away. I might actually see if I can use my fractal blade to cut Oedipus free from his.
Okay. Cutting. The handcuffs are metal, so unless it's organic, it's just a blade, more or less. I mean, and you feel it wouldn't work.
Well, I could cut his hands
Game
off.
Cat. You certainly could. Actually, you know what? These are this is the Shadow Cops. They're robo, so it's the same kind of thing. It's not there's no nearby flesh from anybody because they're Shadow and Robo. A fractal blade, for those at home, has the same kind of virus attached to it that the bullets do. And it does break fairly easily, and it's rare, and it's not easy to use, but it is very powerful. So that's that. We're going to, let's see. Okay, so that's you can't cut.
So could I just like I mean, I can use muscles of iron and break them.
I genuinely regret focusing on the speaker abilities this time.
It's okay. You'll have a good distraction, right?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. I need to spend a bunch of might for this. Partially there is 3 might. And then muscles of iron is 2 might. And I have an edge of 1.
So you'll need to take the first round to choose whichever one you do first. And
so the partially there was first because I had to escape my own handcuffs.
Got it. Okay. So everybody, so we know what you guys are going to do. Again, you guys are going to get the drop on them because the drop in the sense of like, they're expecting this is they're putting cuffs on you guys. They have cuffs on, you guys already. basically.
What kind of psychopath would try to like get out of this now? Yeah.
Exactly. Man, okay, so watch. Here's gonna be all the where your rolls. Oh, let's hope they come in handy there. This counts a lot, shall we say? On the Way to Strange Ways is maybe an interesting way to start an intermission, but maybe we don't have to do that. So, in this last big, scene here before we take our midway break here, little bio break for 5 to 10 minutes. Let's see what you guys do. We know what your plans are. We know that you guys are going to act first. So it sounds like.
I hate clicking this button. This button has been both nice and really mean to me. So here we go.
Dang, it's
Roll
20!
Really?
Yeah.
Ah, shit! You always do that. Damn it! You start like the biggest shit in the world, and you get out of it with 20s.
That's
I
a
love
good
it.
thing.
I love it. Yeah, it's good for
It's
you.
the magic. Like Chester is like the unkillable weirdo. It's just like
Son of a bitch. Okay, good. We'll take it. We'll take it. We'll take it. Okay, so that's you. I wanna resolve them all at once, but trust me, I know what's going on there. Okay, next roll, because this is all happening simultaneously. Let's do smoke. Let's do for you've gone. Tell us what happens as you've been cuffed and how you get out of it, what it looks like for partially there.
Okay. Once everybody's chasing after Chester because he just fucking ran off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already cuffed because I did not resist at all. And
oh wait, sorry. You see Chester go partially out, and the confusion starts. You don't see running yet. It's still that same kind of moment, and you will also have to roll for after what you choose to do.
I got a 14.
Excellent. Okay, so you absolutely do it, and you tell us how what it looks like to you as they're cuffing you, the shadow cops.
So like when they cuff me, I totally don't resist at all. I'm just complaining. I'm like, man, we didn't even do anything. You know, he was just mad about his fake sister. I don't even. Jesus.
I yell back, she's real. She's real to him.
He's delusional.
Uh-huh.
You know, and then like as soon as they're not looking at me directly, I like phase out my arms and like I catch the cuffs in my fingers before they fall to the ground.
Absolutely. You now have cuffs, by the way.
Sweet.
You earned them. You earned them.
Inventory.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's go for Blix now. That makes the most sense since
Yeah, Blix will try to get out of the cuffs.
Right.
And probably, whether he does or not, go start trying to like shoot his way up the nearest accessible wall.
Got it. Okay.
That said, I rolled before I got to say like, oh, I'd like to spend effort and like figured out what all rolls I had
truly,
to make.
I trust you. If you would, this is where you spend effort. Yes.
Yes. No.
Okay.
So I would max out on effort.
I would.
Which is 3, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. 3 for the first, and then 2 for the additionals, depending.
Well, I can spend 3 levels of effort at tier 3.
Oh yes, 3 levels. Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And then that's.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. And now I have to do the math to figure out how many points it costs out of the pools.
Says the mathematician.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
The character's great at this.
It's 7 total minus your edge.
It's
for all 3 tiers.
What was that?
7.
Char? 7?
7 for 3
Okay,
tiers
so
of effort.
that's 4.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh crap. Okay. Good. Okay. 9 or above. What'd you?
I had rolled a 13.
Okay. Okay. So obviously 9 or above. For having it drop that many. Wait. Sorry. 21. Yep. It was 9 or above. Okay. Now. Okay. So Chester, I'm gonna say with the 20, you can lead the charge here. You have the ability to be moving around letting your friends know not only what's going on, but some other bit of information. Let me know what I know. You know how to do it. With a 20 of what you were trying to do, phase out and get the hell out of here. What's happening? Chester. Oh, you're on mute. Oops. Jack, can you hear me? Oops, you're on mute. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I was interacting with the chat room. What was the question?
Yes. Of course.
You want me to describe what happens?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
So a few things. So I get my major effect since I got a 20 is that I get taken immediate second action.
Exactly. That works for me.
I need to create a diversion after. First, I'm going to bitch it. So Chester's hands up. You watch his body swirls and he's mostly shadow and smoke. And you just watch as this sort of cloud, this growling cloud starts darting towards the crowd and gets into the sort of in the middle. Oh crap, I'm trying to think. So I need something that's going to create a big enough distraction. What would create? This would actually be like I feel like Chester would know this, but I don't know this. What would be like?
Oh,
I kind of want to shout like that man's giving away iPhones, but what's the Manchester version of that?
Yeah.
Right? Like, what can I say that's going to cause the crowd to? Because I have my Vorpal pistol, but the cops are already here. That would cause some chaos, though.
Actually, do you have your Vorpal pistol, or would we have?
I don't. You guys disarmed me.
Okay, so
I have nothing. I have literally nothing. I got my trench coat and my wits.
So Blix has a Vorpal pistol.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're lucky they haven't searched you yet. They've just got to the point where they're grabbing you and putting arms and cuffs on. They haven't patted you down yet. So whatever is on you is on you.
Yeah, if I wait 10 minutes, I'll know how to use it.
As soon as I get into the crowd, I want to start shouting something that's going to be the Manchesterian equivalent of that man's giving away free iPhones.
How about
like
this?
Free feathers or something.
How about this? Man City's a bunch of shrieking div-getters.
Manchester's a bunch of striking give-getters. Manchester's a bunch of striking give-getters. Manchester, like he's running through the crowd.
Yep.
Finding his path and just shouting this.
All the Man City fans that are everywhere anyway see somebody in red, which is also Chroma's colors. They see someone absolutely hating on Man City, obviously.
Man City.
And now they don't know who said it because you're partially there and not there and you're smoke anyway. So blame is thrown around for anybody who's not wearing a blue jersey, and it's on. And there's a brawl in the streets. And I'm going to say, with a brawl in the streets happening this close, with you, Oedipus, you're able to give your pew pew. So are you? I mean, and you're also.
So I did already roll, because when we were talking about rolling, I did roll a 3.
Okay.
So I don't think there's any way to make that happen.
To be honest, luckily you didn't need it because.
Okay.
It wasn't a 1, so.
Yes, exactly. And then so that's everybody. Okay. Okay. Let's do this. Okay. So where Chester, because you're running and you're able, with the second action, where are you directing the people, or where are you directing your boomers here? Your fellow boomers.
We're close to Bottletown, right?
Yep. Very close. I see what you're gonna do.
The cops probably wouldn't go into Bottletown, would they?
It is really difficult with their tires, with anything. You're right in the edge. They're certainly not going to be rolling in with their vehicles right there.
Yeah. We're going into Bottletown. It's a bottle episode. Let's do it.
Bottle, exactly. Ooh. Okay.
Oh, no.
Yes. So with all this madness, and there's fists flying, and there's brass knuckles, and the game is on, and now Chroma, you see again, it's projected on all the walls by the blurb fly is huge, 100 feet by 100 feet on a wall.
We are really messing with the Chroma.
Chroma gets a goal. Now now it's on like Donkey Kong. Everybody's punching. You know, the Chroma fans are like, wait, look at Man City's starting shit with us. Makokosa Fai Qui. Some of them are from Chroma themselves, the Italian Robomen, and they're not taking shit. And then again, fists flying. The Shadow Cops cannot figure out what just happened, and this has happened so fast and so specifically that you guys are out and into Bottle Town with them looking like just horses' asses back there. and as you guys are running through the Ginnels again, just entering into the Bottle Town area, you know, not quite at the point in there where you're having to worry about stepping on everything. There's still at least a narrow alleyway or two through the, you know, 7 or 8 stories of glass, you know, just about ready to crumble in at any point. And you guys are in, and you're around at this ginnel, that one, this one, that one, this one, that one. And you guys are able to breathe for just a second and figure out what the hell just happened. And that's where we'll end it for the let's do a 10-minute little bio break there, and we'll come back. You guys have not only all of your items and everything, you have, as I see, slightly used handcuffs that you still have.
It's like you're like dangling. One of them's dangling on Chester's arm.
Yep, as well as an extra feather that you didn't have before. You know, this old classic, and you got what was stolen from you. So I'd say that's pretty good exchange for a tenner, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, it all started with a tenner.
I got to punch a dibble.
Exactly. You certainly punched the dibble. All right, let's jump back
on. Like a euphemism for something.
I know. I was going to say there's probably a bumper sticker.
When I was a teenager, I punched dibbles way too much.
I heard. I was young. I needed the money.
I was young.
Cool. So let's get back on at 3:10. There, it's 3:01 now, and then we'll jump right back into. You guys are in the middle of Bottle Town, with all these delicious feathers just burning a hole in your pocket, and also a lot of questions that need to be answered pretty quickly. Okay. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Cool. All right. So at 3:10. See you guys in 9 minutes.
Y'all come back now.
See ya.
Ain't 3 stripes.
Listen up, Kittlings. The only way out is to finish the game. Be careful. Be very, very careful.
Next match sets home rivals Man City against United. Blue versus red. Blue is most visceral. It's Friday. Buy your ticket with us today.
Hi.
All right, all. Welcome back. Yes, when we last spoke to the boomers there, or were there, they had just avoided a situation that I'm not going to lie, as a GM, I was not quite expecting them to get out of, but that's happened more than once with this group especially. So they are now hidey hole, having to having to avoid the MPD, which is the Manchester Police Department, which is certainly going to be looking through the area and everything. So they're kind of stuck. But where they chose to go to hide is perhaps maybe they might regret the decision of running in the first place. But for now, they are safe in this tiny little alleyway in Bottletown, pretty much pinned down, unable to go anywhere right now because it's pretty likely that everywhere around this area, around Bottletown for sure, is outside of Bottletown is cops figure that Bottletown's a no-go. So everybody, you got out of that one with no bloodshed. Look at you guys. That's wonderful. Real gangs don't need to spill blood, I guess. It's starting to rain right now. There's a little awning, corrugated, tin, kind of, crap. Aluminum siding everywhere. There's trash. There's, again, glass shards everywhere. But where you're at, you feel at least a little bit out of the rain, and a spot where, at least for now, it would not be wise to venture forth for many reasons.
How far away are we from the train station? Isn't there a train station somewhere around here?
Bottletown's train station was shut down years ago, unfortunately. There's train stations on North Gort side, on Rusholm side, and the other even above and below. But pretty much there is a train station, but you'd be pretty surprised if there's anything running there. You can go looking. You want to go look?
No.
We don't.
No,
We do
I
the
want to
opposite.
turn to Chester and say, what the fuck,
Yes.
Chester?
Also, anything that Chester suggests, we do the opposite now.
Nice. All right. Questions.
The guy was lying about who I was. Don't let that sit.
How do you?
My name is my name.
I'm not Shadow, so I don't know. But how do you lie in your brain?
What you want to?
Well, someone's listening.
Lie in your brain.
Yes.
Not exactly a hard talent to learn. I'm sure the Dibble got ways.
That is actually, there is some truth to that, as you guys may know. Like, it would take a mind unlike anybody else's to do it, but you can certainly put thoughts that can mask. But that, again, you think what you want, but that is the situation.
But Deputy Dog did not look like a big thinker. It's kind of like a simple soul to
If you're
me.
thinking anything that I should know about, let me know. I mean, Jack, if Chester is thinking anything I should know about, let me know.
That
No
got
fair. Nice.
That is
Actually,
like a riddle in a sentence.
yeah.
Yeah, can you give us something
I'm
to?
reading your mind, but I don't need you to narrate it while we're talking.
He's asking for some rope to hang you with.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Okay, so this is a question then.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
If she's reading my mind,
Little surface enough thoughts, unless you're really digging deep.
I was gonna say, like, I'm fair, like she's Shadow like me, and the Shadow we can only read surface thoughts. So whatever she picked up off the Dibble was a surface consideration. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, he was terrified, and he was like, "Where did Chester go? Come back! You're my best friend. I need you. Why are you leaving me, buddy?"
Okay.
Chester, honey, what about the kids?
Dibble dealer.
What would he? Sorry, like it's hard for me to think about what Chester would do in this situation. Like it takes me a second. He's so like antithetical to myself.
Now, knowing that smoke, or the thoughts that you do get from reading minds, again, there's surface stuff. You were pretty clear with what you picked up before, and to again remind the folks at home, this was specifically the reading the mind of the deputy, or sorry, not deputy.
See, I got in your mind.
Yeah.
See. Yeah, deputy dog. I was literally going to say deputy dog. So yeah, again, you can trust what you felt, but there's always a shadow of a doubt. Sorry.
Oh.
No XP for me. No XP. All right.
Okay.
Actually, well, as you guys are thinking, before you answer that, let's see. Does anybody have? I think I asked this before. Either knowledge Manchester or knowledge real world. You're out of your element, Donnie. You're out of your neighborhood. You're out of your district. So this is something to see if you know more about Bottletown specifically before any more time passes here. So
That's a real world knowledge still. Real world history, to be specific.
Okay, that totally counts. Okay, so roll for that. It's going to be easy for you, but let's just see if you hit a 19 or 20 or a 1. But
Got a 7.
okay, it's fine because you it drops it down anyway. It was a 9 to a 6. So, so yes, you know that besides the history which I explained to you guys about the decades, you do know that the Grindlow Megaplex is not far from where you guys are at. This is on the edge of the Rushholm district, so it takes a little bit to get there from where you're at, but that's kind of where civilization starts again. It's nothing but like nightmarish, no streetlights working and broken glass and horrible gangs and everything, until you get to Rushholm, and that's where the Grindlow Megaplex is. So it says, this is what you would know. The Grindlow Megaplex is on the edge of the Rushholm district and is always jam-packed with featherheads who are looking to spend less. Maybe find someone hawking a cheap bootleg feather out front or trade what they got for what they want. The constant fighting inside the Megaplex needs to be broken up by the security teams on a regular basis. You also know there's no Vurt you wants in Bottletown. Or other brick and mortar feather vendors. There's one Woompy's Burgers, and they're infamous for having the worst toilets in Manchester. It's basically it's too dangerous
to interrogate Chester.
Yeah, this is bad. It's too dangerous to have a business open there. Also, excuse me, there is also a very strong anti-pure sentiment here, pure humans especially. Almost every wall in Bottletown is tagged with the phrase "pure is poor." So, yeah, so you know that at least how to get to the edge, from there to the edge of Rushholm, without having to find your way, because Grindlow Megaplex is close enough. So, and as a featherhead and as the drugs and all that stuff, you're kind of itching for all of that. All of you guys are itching for a little bit of relaxation after all this, but
got some adrenaline.
I was gonna say you guys are jumping from one giant thing to another. So yeah, all right, so that's what you know about Bottletown at this point. Let's say it's midnight, just about midnight. It's now rain, but where you guys are kind of huddled in your little spot, pushed away some of the broken glass, you guys are at least able to keep out of the rain.
All right. Like Chester's gonna like pop his trench coat, put his collar up. He's like, "Can we at least talk about this somewhere dry?"
Are you actually going to tell us the truth?
I ain't been lying yet, but I'll tell you anything else you want to know.
Just tell us how you know this guy. The cop.
And why does he think you're his friend?
Dead
air. Good.
Exactly. which happens.
Give me a second. I'm trying to think if I know the guy.
Actually,
No, you're
Blix
not.
probably does play the like little MIDI version of that, like
Probably.
not the Jeopardy
Yeah.
theme.
Thinking
trying
that's
to think of
socially
how to
acceptable
explain
to
it.
make that joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Shar.
I said, no, you're not. You're trying to think of how to explain it, which is probably your surface thoughts.
I think. Guess what would his? I mean, like his surface thoughts are just going to be frustration. Like this is just so deeply annoying. Like his surface thoughts are literally going to be like, why the hell doesn't my family trust me? Like that's what he's thinking. He's frustrated by the fact that these people who he's risked his life for multiple times are questioning his loyalty.
How dare they?
Pissed off about it.
I'm starting to feel bad. No, just kidding. I'm not.
All of his anger is focused on that, and then there's this question of the cop, which is just like, you know, I guess he dismissed like, I ain't asked you guys about your past, and I don't appreciate all the questions about mine.
No,
It's
well,
not
what would you
about
like
your
to know?
past.
Say again?
It's not about your past. It's about your present.
How's it about my present?
You ducked away when you passed him. He thinks he knows you. Present. Well, okay, a day ago.
Oh, present? He knows me present?
You
I mean,
choose, you grew up with this guy. You don't talk to him. Fine.
I'm just saying. Look,
You
let's
just
just
say what?
let's put it simply. I used to be someone else. All right.
Okay.
Like, I don't know what you guys want from me. Have I ever done anything but keep you guys out of Hawk? How many times I jumped in front of bullets for the three of you? Now you want to sit around and ask me about my friend? You pretend you're just asking questions. You're throwing around goddamn accusations. I'm a goddamn boomer.
You're a boomer who got out of lockup. That
Pretty
never
bad.
happens.
Yeah, I'm a boomer who spent time in lockup too.
You know,
Saving your ass, trying to save one of us.
Smoke, when he says that he's a boomer, that reads true. That reads absolutely true. Now, all the other questions you may have, it's true. But when he says that, he means it.
Do we actually?
Chester, can you see how it might read to other people?
Yeah, I guess.
Question for the players.
I ain't exactly one to open up though.
Question for
I
the
get
players.
it.
Do we have enough to think that he's a cop? Does it feel like it?
I think we have enough to feel like he was previously a cop.
Yeah.
That, you know what? Now is exactly the time to make that intellect roll. And this is at this moment, you know, to kind of see if you're
Which is
feeling
just
that or
a-
not. Right. This is intimidating, and there's you can drop it by spending effort. But this is an intimidating. This is wow. That's gonna be a roll.
Can I raise the effort?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Listen, I think you've raised it enough. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, intimidating is at an 18 to roll. They're
Can
gonna
I
have to
use
drop
real
it.
world knowledge?
Yes.
I have a totally separate direction of action that I want to ask you about then at some point here.
Perfect. Now's the time. Go for it. Because I can see where we're going with this.
All right, so my fancy new power that I got is that I can create by applying number breeding nymphomation to game theory models, I can create an elaborate simulation. I would like to create a simulation of back where the guy that he punched in the face is at, and then see if I can wind it back and forth, because I can try to get stuff within a period of 24 hours to see him getting interrogated.
Nice.
Like if I can like use that to get like the boss asking him what just happened when he got punched in the face, then like that would be
Okay.
a thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, and this is something everybody else can see too.
This like plays out in real time, like it's a little hologram.
If you want, I mean, you know, the same kind of thing when he's tracing the circles, and you kind of see numbers flashing in and out. It's certainly not a hologram, but it is something recognizable.
Yeah, like I figured it's probably something where like, you know, I have to use the PDF feather to do like some of the processing, but like, yeah, there might be a way to like project that so that it's like, you know.
It's like a really shitty hologram.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm just imagining again. This is midnight. It's raining. It's in Bottle Town. There's like feral dogs and feral robo dogs and tortures and OG Brits and horrible things. You guys are fighting in the rain. You guys have just made it out of a situation there's no way you would have gotten out of, and now you're gonna actually like project what's just happened. This is good gang dynamics here.
This is amazing.
Yeah, cool. So you projecting that, I'm going to say yes, which is going to add an asset before you even roll. So let's have you do that. Is that a power where you have to activate it?
Yeah, I spent my endpoint for it.
Okay, and what's it called again?
Simulation. It is page
Simulation.
51.
Perfect. Excellent. Thank you very much. Okay, and that works. Yes, so you do replay it, and you guys have all the information that you need. You see exactly as you remembered it. And this is, again, adding asset to anybody else who's trying to figure it out, as well as you now, Blix, you can also do the same thing of an int test or something else like it to figure out. And again, Smoke understands that when he did say he was a boomer, he meant it. So
I'll tell everybody, and that's when I thought, and I started doing like the more general questioning of like, I know you're a boomer.
Mm-hmm.
I know you are in your heart.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's, and then Oedipus is also same kind of thing. It's going to be an int.
Yeah, I have something on my character sheet called perception on page 33, but I'm reading page 33 over and over again, and I'm not finding it.
No. Yeah, I'm like 32 or 34.
Perception.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Perception. Where did I write?
I usually do a PDF search, a word search. But
it's supposed to be related to Robo Dogman because I marked my skills.
Cool.
Where they came from.
Oh, is it in the modes section or the?
Okay. Yes. Let's see. I got it right here. Okay. Perception. Oh, it's a skill. So it's kind of a basic. It's a basic skill. Are you trained in it? Does it say trained?
Oh wait, it's actually in the. It's in the wrong column, the bad column.
Gotcha. Okay. Inability with perception. Yes, of course. I was going to say which is wonderful for a speaker. So you believe your own stuff, but nobody else's. Okay, good. Okay, so inability for perception. Let's go for those rolls for the three of you guys. All of you guys get an asset because the simulation is playing. All right.
I got an 18.
Blix is no good at social stuff anyway. I got a 9.
I got it, and I see yours. Oedipus is a 7. Okay. All right, with the 18. Yeah, you feel what your doubts, or for whatever they're worth. Yeah, you feel pretty sure about it. The others, you guys are still trying to figure it out. Blix, you're probably still going over this thing. It's probably going to keep going over in your mind and get stuck there, and you get obsessed about it and have to figure out what all the numbers are. But nothing yet. Same with Oedipus. You're trying. You're really trying. You're trying so hard. Your doggy, brow is, furrowed, and you're shaking your tail, kind of, if you have one.
I'm doing the fingers against my temples, like
Exactly.
I can do this.
Exactly. And all you're getting is feeling the pressure of your finger paws. Okay, but Smoke, you're pretty sure. So you're pretty damn sure.
Are you gonna share with us, or
that's up to Smoke?
Nope, not gonna share.
Yep. So at this point, again, you feel like you're in a safe enough spot, but again, you can't venture out anywhere. It's getting cold, but there's enough kind of like trash and like old newspapers and discarded Game Cat magazines to cover yourselves if you want to spend the night here? Or...
No, not at all.
Smart move. But yes, you got some time to kill. Now, is anybody? Yes, we have some addicts among the group. Let me see.
Yeah, I was
Especially Smoke, if I remember right.
Yeah, I have an inability with drug-related willpower.
Yes. Okay.
Oh,
It has been.
What did I figure out?
It's been far too long since you guys have done any drugs.
And I have 2 feathers.
That's true. That's absolutely true.
Can you tell us more about this blue feather that we got that for old people that that thing?
Absolutely.
Boring people.
Yes. Also, this again, this is a classic feather. You're talking about pitchworm? No, pitchwormer. Yes.
Pitchwormer.
Pitchwormer is again, it's a classic. It's you're swimming in the seas of pitch, and this has to do, as far as you guys can remember. Vurt feather knowledge.
Oh yeah.
Give me a roll just to see if you can get a 19 or 20. And I know general knowledge to give to everybody, but
I got a 19.
Blix is specialized in it, but he got a 3. So.
Okay. Cool. So
this is baby stuff. I don't pay attention to this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. So Smoke remembers one particular GameCat magazine review where, GameCat way back in the day, it was a throwback, review, and they printed it, and it had to do with the seas of pitch, and the seas of pitch were something where there were thermofish that swam in the seas of pitch, and it was a sea. You remember it being something about an ocean adventure of some sort, and thermofish being involved, but you can't remember too much more, but you do know that it's a pretty simple feather, and it's a blue. It should be that. Now the extra bit of info is, I'm guessing you're looking at the feather.
Yeah.
You had them both out. Yeah, this will throw a wrench in it. The extra bit of information you get is that it doesn't smell like a blue should. Usually blues, they have different smells, but it's never anything that is too pungent or too like acidic, or it's there's smells you can handle usually. This one smells funky. Now they don't necessarily spoil at all. I mean, they wouldn't spoil, but you don't remember anything in the review that said anything about, hey, this feather that smells like 20-year-old camembert. No, this is bad news. This is sour.
I want to look more closely for any signs of other colors on it.
Wise move. You feel that you're not Robo. You feel that there's something there. If you could only look closer, if only you weren't hindered by your genetics, shall we say?
You and your filthy meat eyes.
Yes, exactly. You organics.
Ah.
So.
All right. So.
You have that information.
Before I do this, I'm like, all right, Chester, I believe you. So that we actually.
Chester's just gonna he almost collapses into his coat, just like relief.
Nice, excellent. Okay,
I guess we'll believe you believing him then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you two are convinced. You Oedipus and Blix. I mean, Blix, you're obsessed anyway. You're going to go over all that info forever, even if it doesn't lead anywhere.
Are they winding back? Are they trying to come find us? What are they looking? How many people were in that van?
And now you're excited about the calculating the distance between their feet, and now the distance, the Zeno's paradox of half is always half, and you never end.
Wait! For this split second while they were in motion, there's this perfect golden ratio spiral between all of them.
Yeah, mathematicians are fun in their own head, but again, as all this is going through your mind, it's you kind of staring off, and a little bit of a smirk on your, uncanny valley face there. So
while he's staring off into the uncanny valley, I wave the blue in front of his face, and I'm like, hey, Hey, Featherhead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take it.
I think everybody
Alright.
looks up though when you say that.
But I know that Blix is a particularly feathery featherhead.
Fair.
And
Yes. What do
And
you
I'm
want to
like-
know?
this doesn't smell right. And
So real quickly, for those that it's the first time when we're talking about eating feathers and things like that, or taking feathers, without getting too much into it, feathers the biggest drug in the world. Everybody's hooked on it. It's entertainment. But you actually, when she says take the feather, it's ingested. You put it in your mouth, and that activates it. And because it has the dream, it's constructed that way. And then you have 60 seconds before that goes. It loses all of its color and is inert and is just a throwaway cream-colored feather. So whoever it gets passed to, whoever can get it into their mouth in that 60 seconds, jumps in and is part of the same dream. And it's the dream world. And blues are safe. You're not going to get hurt in real life. They're fun. You get knowledge sometimes, but it's always kind of middling stuff, but good stuff, fun stuff, especially if it's a good one. So yeah, that's where we're at.
so so before we take it,
Hmm.
I want to make sure it's not one of the more dangerous colors mixed in,
Okay.
because then I can prepare to. I mean, I'm not gonna not take it, of course, but like, I want to know first. So Blix, can you tell if it's got other colors in it?
Yeah, I mean, Blix will take it and kind of like hold it up and like, look at it, except like, there's like a metal faceplate and there's some kind of optic sensors behind it, but like, he's like, all right, yeah, no, let me check this out. And he'll like unzip the trackie and like hold it underneath for a second, and there'll be like some sort of weird sniffing, slithering noise.
He's Robo-Vurt, by the way.
Yeah, it's like,
everybody. So
this is where the real deal happens. Yeah. And he'll check it out. Get a good close look with like the real eyes.
Perfect.
And I'm like, hey, don't be taking that.
Perfect. Let's have you roll, and I'm hoping you roll a 19 or 20, because you feel this is so many wonderful mysteries in this feather.
Oh, well, now I'm really curious about it, so I'll spend 2 levels of effort.
Down to 1, 2. Do you have any feather knowledge or anything specific for that?
I believe I am specialized in knowledge of Vurt feathers.
Specialized. Okay, so that drops it 2 more. Not trained, but specialized. Down to standard. Okay, roll a 6 or above. At tier 3, you're just rocking it. That's good.
Oh. Where was that roll when I needed it before? The 20.
Oh. Good. Okay,
Let me tell you about this feather.
So here's the information.
It's the 3rd one that got manufactured that day.
Yeah, exactly.
That packaged it, had red hair.
Right. Had gotten in a fight that morning with his sister. Yeah, fake sister. Okay. So
the real sister. He has a sister. He has brothers. He has sisters.
As far as the cop knew, you didn't have sisters
at all. You're looking at again, the smell is the first bit of information. So what you get from the smell of the feather is that this has been dipped. In the blue is a coating, and it smells awful. And it is so it's coated. It's been dyed blue. That's what you get from the first round of it. The second round is that, because you can't tell what it's dyed, but the second bit of information there is that you got that underneath it, you can smell just the faintest fact that or bit that this is a black feather. So it's a black that's been painted over, or dipped and dyed blue. Again, why it smells. It's been laced with, again, this does not smell right. I mean, it smells like you can take it, no problem, but it smells, again, not like a normal blue. And the last bit of info, and here's the way this works. You remember in your mathematician brain, you've been studying all different, ways, books through that. long ago, hundreds of years ago, they have books, in the 1800s, they would have books where if you put your thumb along the edge of the pages and, pushed it a certain way that an actual image would appear. So what you're able to do with the actual feather by flipping your thumb through it, you actually see that not only has this been dipped and dyed, but there's an actual image that is only visible as you're flipping through it, kind of like a book. And this this is what you see, and to you it is a map. The words don't make sense. You keep feeling like you should be able to read it, but it doesn't compute. It doesn't. It's unrecognizable. The word there. Okay. And that's what you see. You see this map, and what looks like amber, an ocean there in the southwest quadrant. Like those are the shores of an amber-colored ocean. That's about all you get from it. Okay.
Is the text in the map, is that actually legible to us?
Nope. And that's all. No. Actually, those with the feather, all you featherheads would know. This is very similar to like when you see words written in dreams. Certain parts of Vurt Chester, you can read them. Or these places in the Vurt world, you can read it, but it's not actual words because you're in a dream. So this is definitely Vurt world stuff here.
So, do we want to go into another feather to be able to read this feather, or take this?
No, let's just take it, but let's take it somewhere dry.
Yeah.
Cool.
Where
Is there
not to
a way-
take black
is there a
feathers?
way to
In the middle of the
capture-
street in Bottle Town.
There's the what was it? The feather place we could go.
Oh, Grindlow. You feel that to get there would be pretty difficult. It is a ways. Not difficult in the sense of getting there, but dangerous. You feel also though you can find something within a few hundred yards probably to break down an abandoned door and sneak in somewhere. You
All
can
right,
find
I've got a pitch, and just
Uh-oh.
hear me out.
Oh no.
Now, I mean,
I take my
sure,
feather
sure, the bathroom at Whoopi's has a bad reputation, but
We know no one's gonna be in there.
yeah, once you're in the feather, you're not going to care, and I can turn off my olfactory sensors anyway. So
And I'm a
I don't
dog.
see where it would be a problem to go there.
Like,
There's
we're
a
dogs.
locking door, privacy.
As a robo dog,
Likes
can
the
I turn off
smell.
my smell?
Could use a Wumpy burger.
It is walking distance. It is.
I am
someplace
kind of
close enough.
hungry.
Alex,
Seating for
can I
one.
turn off my smell receptors if I'm a robo dog man?
No. In fact, Robo Dog.
Man.
You can mute it. Yeah, the Robo can mute it. If you have dog genetics and with no Robo to counteract it, there's no way it's on.
So I'm screwed.
You're
That's the lesson
oh.
there.
Again, the worst toilets in Manchester, as they're known. It's very train spotting. All right, are you guys?
You
You
Since
guys
I
gonna do a dirty?
put toilet
feather
paper over
in
the top.
worst-
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm still blaming Chester for at very least punching a cop right while we're standing there. So I like this plan
I'm
because
gonna
he
get a
couldn't
Wumpy
turn
burger
it
and
off.
finish it before we go in.
There it is. And what you guys might find in a black feather, think about it. I mean, as again, more than just the cool trip that you guys will have and the excitement of that is you guys will actually, a lot of times you can get good knowledge, even sometimes, it's been legend is that you can even take stuff back sometimes if you know the right math. But as far as you guys know, it is all of you guys are itching to get into this feather. This
If
is the
there's any blood, nobody will notice.
That's true. Yeah. Now, for those at home, blue feather, like I said, is does not hurt your real world body. You go in, it's like a game. Sometimes you have temporary little hit point kind of things. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you look like yourself. Sometimes you don't. But it's more fun. Think video games, because this is a black feather. This is more like ultra HD reality in your face, or like a VR. The absolute crisp. And what damage you take in the dream translates to your body in the real world. So you can absolutely die in a black feather if you don't either win the feather or do what's called jerking out, and that's where you can pull yourself out of the feather entirely. And once one person does that, everybody else has to follow. So those are the rules of it. So this is a black feather.
So I think the only concern I have as my character, like it's kind of like right now, if you're looking for a restaurant and you can't Yelp it, how do you know it's good? So since we don't know what feather this is, how do we know it's not going to be a crappy black?
Well,
because it was given to me
by a crazy lady that stole my shit. Oh, I mean, we got it back. Okay.
She traded for it. She just traded with you.
Yeah, she traded my 10.
Yeah, it only cost you 10, and look what you got so far. Look what you got yourselves into. So if you're walking to the Woompies, it won't take you more than 10 minutes. We'll just do one roll for the whole
I got
party.
like my trachea over my head.
You guys doing it? Are you guys going to the worst
brain?
The worst toilet in Manchester?
Yes.
To take a dirty laced drug this is good. Okay, let's do it.
How many stalls?
Get the hand sanitizer, everybody. All right, here we go. Let's do one roll. Who has either has something that can bring it down, or who wants to roll?
I was the one who knew where we were going, so I'll do it.
Go. Okay. And this is just 6 or above. This is just so you don't get lost.
8. Good enough.
Good.
Yes.
Good. Okay.
Right,
So
made it.
you get there. There was a point there where you actually saw some eyes peeking around, and you saw that they were actually wearing, the Union Jack, the old school English, we are England kind of thing, and the ultranationalists. So that's a particular gang. You saw them peeking out. They started to call other people over, and you managed to get going, and you made it to the Woompies Burgers. Now, Woompies Burgers is very close to the only Manchester PD station, but there's never anyone there. They've given it up as a no-go. So if you're lucky, you'll find someone. But
they're busy all looking for us.
Yeah, you can bet your ass there.
Next district.
So you make it through all this glass, and you're on the edge of Bottle Town as well. And there's the Woompies Burgers. Now, Woompies Burgers is generally pretty terrible anyway, but this is even worse. There's no one in it besides the Robo-Man behind the counter, yeah, that tells you how good it is. And so yeah, it's maybe about a 20 by 20 square. You can go in and order. There's a drive-through, but there's no cars in it.
And nobody has the tires that'll survive the drive.
Yeah, I was gonna say nothing. There's very few cars in Bottletown. Yeah.
While we're on the way there, can I take a recovery roll?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I would.
Oh yeah, good idea.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. 9 points back.
Cool. Oh, good. Very
All
good.
right. I'm not tracking there. I'm tracking here.
Cool.
I'm gonna hold off on that.
Yeah, I'm holding 2.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, yes, the Wimpy, again, the sign that should be lit up on the outside is broken. So it just says Oompies. There's no W. Yeah, it smells like sick inside. Yeah, the Robo-Man behind the counter, his eyes are glazed over, and his jaw is kind of slacked, and he seems to be kind of nodding off, and his eyes are glazed. But he's nodding.
Chester doesn't have any money on him, does he? He's like reaching into his coat, like looking at the menu, like, God damn it.
Yeah. Yep. He's nodding. You guys recognize this as junkies, or former, current, and future junkies. That he's nodding. He's in a drug stupor of some sort. You have a couple guesses, but he's on.
We should give Chester his shit back.
Fine.
One in this black.
I give him all his stuff back.
Oh, look at you guys!
Actually, to be
warms the cockles of my heart.
To be
Actually,
fair,
I think this would like so as Oedipus is laying things out. I think Chester is going to like do something uncharacteristically Chester-like. Like his eyes actually well a little bit, and he's just gonna put his hand on Oedipus's shoulder and just kind of like it's like thanks, and just like let go and just sort of like turn away and like
Yeah.
dusty in here, huh?
Onions.
It's the movies.
and then I say, okay, now you get to do that again because Blake's got your gun.
And Blix is gonna take the huge ass vorpal gun, like set it on the table. Be like, such an unrefined instrument. It's like,
nice. And you know what? By the way, the fact that a math magician like you would do that in the middle of a Woompy's burger in front of people on the table is madness. But you're lucky because Mr. Naughty
he's on drugs. He's not paying any attention to us.
You're good.
Chester grabs the vorpal and just kind of shikes it into his coat. Like, all right, I'm buying everyone burgers.
Nice.
All right. I'll have number 42, extra fries, double milkshake, coffee, Coke, and another number 42.
So an Enola Cola or Spook Cola, depending how you want, a Woompy's burger, which is awful, chips with mushy peas, which is the way everybody in that area does it, and then the burger is absolutely horrifically, I mean, it's bendy, it's thin, you couldn't pull it apart, you can chew it, but yeah, it's kind of
I'm gonna walk out and just be like number 642s.
Yeah, and honestly,
I think he's got. I forget.
You guys are rolling. You guys are rolling at tier 3.
We've got like thousands upon, so I'm just gonna pull out a hundy.
Yep. You
and
do
just
have
slap
that.
it down.
In one of the novels, didn't a piece of one of the burgers fall off and like move away on its own?
Yeah, it's like scoot away from the truck. Yeah, this is some bad shit.
That was a lawsuit, I think, in the novel. So yeah,
good call. Exactly, but not anymore. They've moved past it. That's
My
why
favorite.
That's why they nuke it so hard that it does, become the rubber burger. So, yes. You are able to buy it. He's nodding, but maybe it's automatic response or something, or maybe it's just the robo part of his brain taking over. The meat's fallen asleep, that part of him. So he does get it. He does take your money. You do get your trays full of horrific food. And
just like nose up, I'm carrying the tray over and setting it down.
Nice. Now, are you guys going to eat in the bathrooms, or?
No.
We're eating here.
That's disgusting.
What do you think we are?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Pearls slashed. Thank you, no.
Yeah, Chester he slumps into the booth, just kind of reels down. He grabs one of the burgers and just like takes one sniff at it and just literally just goes, ugh, and just like throws it and it just starts chewing and chews for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's like big nauseous bites.
Mm-hmm. So everybody's digging. You're feeling good. Everybody's chewing through their stuff, eating whatever tickled your fancy there.
I'm like eating real fast because I really want to get to the drugs. I'm like, all right, guys, I'm done. Are you done?
Perfect. Nice. So good. This is great. So you guys, everybody finishes up as quick as you can.
Blix spends the whole time playing with the spook cola.
Playing twist. Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's good. Yes, but you end up eating. You guys eat everything you need. Everybody feels all good. Go into the bathroom is open, or the door is unlocked. Okay, here's what the worst toilets in Manchester look like. The floor slopes down as you walk in. There's a big hole in the middle, which probably originally had a grate over it. Maybe at one point it was level and they washed it and there were tiles or something, but now no, it's just a hole and it kind of goes towards it. And it's nice wide open. There are toilets, but the doors have been broken off. There is what appears to be a sink, but the basin has been broken off. There's about 2 inches thick of sludge that part of it looks viscous, some of it looks liquid, some of it looks at some point like it bubbles. Maybe it's fermenting. Hopefully there's nothing underneath there, but you guys are literally just coming in. Now, those with dog sense, those without robo-genetics to turn this off, make a roll right now. Yeah. And those with dog,
To add with the pile.
yeah, the dog is going to be even more difficult.
I got a 2, so
I got a 4.
this is just
And
completely
as a dog,
overwhelming.
and you got a 4, a 2 and a
Yeah.
4. Okay. Oh no, the others are robo. Okay, so 2 and 4. Listen, there is no way you're keeping that down. All of it just, what Woompies went down came up, and it's everywhere. And you guys are, out of commission for the next maybe, it's terrible. You've been junkies before, but this is extremely bad. So as that's happening, though, you're able to at least kind of finish up enough to the point where, you can at least stand up, kind of, or at least lean against something. There's nothing to sit on. There's nothing to sit on here. So remember that. So
You said there was toilets. They just
Oh no. Oh, there's toilets. Sorry, I didn't get into what's in the toilets. Yes. So the toilets themselves, the basins have been broken, like the sink, and it's overflowed quite a bit. So you can see bits of porcelain sticking out. Is all I'll say. What's left of it. So yes, the plumbing is not working, but the big hole in the middle probably is what most people have been using for the last maybe 5 or 10 years. So yeah.
Is there any kind of stable surface?
Stable to the point where you're not going to slide through the muck into the cesspit hole.
Yes.
Yes, if you wedge yourself or if you go behind one of the stall things so you don't slide. Because
Well,
remember, when you take this feather, everybody's...
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I'll
go back.
back
I'm gonna go
outside.
Me too. Actually, what are you gonna do? Because
I'm gonna grab a chair.
I was gonna grab a stack of about 37 trays
Mhm.
and build some kind of structure out of it that doesn't have us slipping.
Oh, this is so junky logic right now. You're like, yeah, we gotta get this because so that when we get totally assed out and fall down, we don't slip and slide into a cesspit of. Okay.
Yeah, we're not like we could just go in the restaurant and do it. No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
honestly,
Go
Even
back to the bathroom.
even with Mr. Naughty there, you feel. Yes.
Chester follows Smoke's lead and
Mhm.
snags a chair from the restaurant.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So.
Oh wait, and he's also going to take out a 20, and he's going to throw it to the
Uh-huh.
at the counter. Like, make sure no one goes in the bathroom for a couple hours.
Nice. The robot part of his brain, you can see, tries to make the head nod, but he doesn't quite because the other one's half asleep. So it's sitting there in front of him, but you're hoping he heard you.
Yeah, you're going to do a fine job. Absolutely fine job. He grabs
Yeah.
a chair. Just a
That guy's-
great investment I made right there.
Yep, and he sees your red tracksuit and he manages a "Go Man City." And goes back to nodding. Again, you're wearing red. Come on. So yes, you managed to get yourselves into a point where, in this horrible muck-covered bathroom, to the point where once you fall down limp to the ground, you're at least not going to slide into the waste. Oh, it's
Like, wedge
ugly.
my
There's
chair
one.
against the
Yep.
construction
Mm-hmm.
so that it
There-
won't slide.
There's one fluorescent light and it flickers off and on, but at least it's enough to see the feathers. So you have a spot. You feel that the door is closed enough. Maybe you've paid off the guy at the front. Maybe not, but you feel about as good as you can, as a junkie can get. And damn it, you want that feather, don't you? Don't you? So
no,
All right, I'm going first.
yeah, sure.
I'm resistance challenged.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a bunch of junkies, featherheads.
Flix goes last because he's disgusting.
Yes. Flix goes last because the feather goes somewhere here. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Yeah,
All right.
that's very polite of you. Yeah. Okay.
I
So
mean, that was the real reason I didn't want him to take it because he goes last.
Yes. Otherwise, you don't want to go after Blix in the feather round. Yeah.
I mean, despite like this,
Yeah.
that's disgusting.
Yeah. When he lifts up his shirt and puts it somewhere under his rib cage or something like that, it feels bad. Gross.
All right, so I take the feather in
Got
my
it.
chair. My
Perfect.
nice chair. I first actually I throw up a little bit extra just to get it out,
Course, I would.
and then
yeah.
I take the feather after wipe off my mouth. Take the feather and pass it on.
Nice. Yep. Who's next?
I'll take it.
Okay.
Just very unceremoniously flop past.
Goddamn things I do for you for. Chester takes it.
Mhm.
Not a drug fan, Chester.
Yeah.
It's not a drug. It's just the dream. Come on.
Yep. He's chasing the dream. Chasing the dream. Nice.
And Blix will take it and unzip and reach underneath and make little noises and all set.
Nice. Okay. Everybody's taking it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you guys are in this one, the beginning of this feather, you feel a slow fade. So you see the real world fading before your eyes. Again, it's a horrible situation you're in. At that last moment before you totally fade out of the real world into the Vurt world, maybe you realize, oh my God, look at my life. I'm in filth. I've got a chair I've wedged up against something so I don't slip when I'm, this is ridiculous. I shouldn't have ended up here. I have so many regrets. And now it's the sounds of flapping bird wings, as if they're flapping right in your ears. The air gets cold, then hot, then cold again, and you feel the sensation of falling. And now you are in the Vurt feather, and way, way, way below you, as you're falling through the clouds, you can actually see, as far as the eye can see, a sea of pitch. It looks like pitch from a pine tree, so it's yellowish amber. There's some bubbles. You can see things swimming slowly, way deep, deep below, which must be big, and you're heading towards it at 100 miles a minute or a second. 100 miles a minute. Yeah, at least you have some time to think. So yes, 100 miles a second, just racing towards the ocean there. And you can see each other, and you're looking around, and you're realizing, again, you knew this ahead of time, but you're in a black feather. These are your bodies. You're racing, you're flying towards what is going to be an impact of like concrete. Normally in this feather, you fall through, as you guys have read in the reviews, you fall through, you do a nice deep dive into the seas of pitch, and then you're killing thermofish with javelins, and it's fun, and you have what is it, like undersea diving helmets sometimes, and things are cool, and there's nautical music going on. It's like a game. No, this is just the sound of wind rushing past your ears as you're flying towards it.
Does anybody know how to fly? Hold on. Does anybody know how to fly?
Blix pauses for a second and holds up a finger and goes,
Yeah.
I know how to skydive now.
Exactly. I want everybody to imagine what Oedipus's face jowls look like flapping. Yeah. Oh, and Chester's. Shit, damn, you got two of you guys, which are already pretty. Yeah. So
Chester's big and floofy too. It's all like pressed back.
Yeah, you're looking slick, Skywolf. So you guys are racing towards. it.
Skywolf.
You feel you've got another 5 seconds.
Blix.
So that's, by the way, that's how far up you are.
How many people can you put in stasis?
One.
Can we ride someone who's in stasis like a surfboard?
I'd love for you guys to figure out how this is going to happen. So go there.
Quick.
Me, do me.
Doesn't really matter. Do it.
Chester's big enough, like he's large, that you could, I guess, like stasis ride him like a, you could try.
Do it.
Okay.
You'd be the only one.
If this goes wrong, who am I willing to lose first?
Exactly. So now you're maybe 4 seconds from impact. 400 miles from the top. I'm telling you guys, this is dream logic. So
Okay.
this is not that you're falling way faster than terminal.
Well, if it's dream logic, at what point can we literally just like learn how to
Prove
fly,
that we can
right?
Fly?
Yeah. Like, wouldn't that be?
Wait,
you'd have
I
some
can
control.
fly.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
Now-
I'm gonna start flapping my arms.
I'm gonna take my trench coat and like try to make bat wings out of it, just like glide
Okay.
down.
Okay, good. Okay. Again, because for those at home, because this is dream logic. Now, if this was a blue feather, they'd have jetpacks, or everything would be fine, or it'd probably be guided towards them what the rules and basic parameters are. But because they're in a black dream, which the same thing would be a yellow dream, or hybrids and things like that, the lethal feathers. This is one where you have to. Basically, you better figure out the dream logic. You better figure it out quickly, usually, to win. And it is not just illogical; it's dream logical. So, what are you doing? You're pulling out like a flying squirrel. Okay.
I'm flapping my arms.
You're flapping your arms. Stasis, was it for Blix?
I don't know if I can stasis myself.
Can you? I'll be your volunteer because this flapping does not look fashionable at all. So
Yeah, so Blix is going to use his newfound skydiving knowledge to bust into the right kind of move to try to slow himself, whatever that would do.
Perfect.
Right? Because
Perfect.
obviously that's going to be more effective. That's how it works.
Way more effective. Good.
But yeah, if Oedipus is there, I can bink.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Although,
yes.
same team. In the past, when we stasis people, they stopped where they were.
Yes.
We stasis someone inside a car, and then the car couldn't move anymore.
Right. So you just have to stasis and then let him fall and stasis and let him fall.
But if I can't toggle it on and off like that, I don't think.
Yeah, you can. You just wait a few minutes and do it again.
Once I'm on the ground and I can time it before he smacks down, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay,
Now, also
yeah.
remember that certain of these powers are going to manifest themselves a little differently when you're in the dream world as well. So, how you describe the stasis this time? Let's have that be part of the logic here. So, again, a bubble around him. If it starts to, the minute you start to do it, you can see that it sticks. He's gonna be stuck 500 or 400 miles above the ocean as you guys are falling. So you feel that if you do that, he's gonna get stuck because dream logic, it's not gonna fall.
Then I should wait to trigger that until we're down closer.
right.
But I still can. And then once everybody else is on the ground, I can try to turn it off and stop you before you smack.
I'm down with that.
And if you come up with something else in the meantime, cool, right?
Nice.
I'm a talker. I don't know how to work.
Oh, you know what you should do?
Convince gravity that, yeah.
You should use air brakes. Like bugs.
Can I spin identity that I'm Superman?
It's convince yourself, I guess. You're like, I'm Superman. I guess I was. You could, without spin identity, you can try to do that as you're falling. But again, as far as you guys can see, is the ocean, this pitch ocean, again racing towards you guys. You're now 300 miles from the bottom. 3 seconds, 300 miles.
I'm Batmaning it up right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So to what extent does this kind of depend on us believing it?
You would know from previous feathers. You guys have done black feathers before. Part of it is believing it. Part of it is making sure that it's either appropriate for the feather or just something that you hope works. But it's less about convincing yourself and more about finding the right way in.
Gotcha.
What if I turn it into a dive kind of? So the flapping thing doesn't seem to work, right?
Actually, you're not sure yet. It might. It's only been 1 second. It's 100 miles, but yes, it might be working. It's possible. Yeah. So now you're at 200 miles from the bottom, 2 seconds from impact. You know what? it's starting to work. It's starting to work. You're starting to feel yourself slow down, but you're now going to have to do a might test for it. And you hear the as you're going through there, you hear the sounds of echoing ringtones, and no, I'm kidding. No, actually, you hear the wind going through, and again, now at this point, you're actually hearing the far off traces of the sea shanty soundtrack that you're supposed to be hearing in this feather. So it's just a far off, little dun, 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 voices singing. So you're getting closer
What do you
to
do with the drunk
impact.
kids? Hello, what do you do?
Exactly. So, but it's working. It's working. Now we are at 100 miles, 1 second from impact, and now that you're at the point where you can actually see, close enough. Again, this must be an immense planet of water. You can see that way off in the distance as you're going is a tiny little speck of an island. Looks like an island. Again, it's nowhere near where you're at.
Ooh, can I
but
aim for it?
you can definitely try to aim yourselves towards it. Absolutely. And yeah, that's what you're seeing. And now, of course, the soundtrack is louder. So is everybody aiming for the island?
Yes.
Okay. The last second, the last 100 miles, you slow down within. You're racing towards it. You're flapping as hard as you guys can. Now we're going to do this might check. So everybody roll for might. If you want to use effort, you can.
Chester got a 17.
Excellent.
I'm going to use Muscles of Iron, which gives me 10-minute asset to might actions. And
Okay.
since it's more than my edge, it'll cost me a might point.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got Tap In. You get a precognitive sense of what is to come in the Vurt. Each level counts as an asset towards all tasks, combat and non-combat in the Vurt.
Ooh. Okay, do it. Okay, that definitely counts as an asset, and I'll also give you even more info than if you pass that.
Okay.
Okay, so 17, Chester.
17 here.
Yeah, I got a 4.
Oh.
Oh, Smoke, I liked you. Now you're
Yeah.
dead.
Okay. By the way, as you guys are racing, even before you guys roll, you see that she's flapping as hard as she can, and her eyes go wide just for a second. Okay, now make some rolls. You got the other two. Chester, Oedipus, what did you roll?
I rolled a 12.
12? No, unless you used 2 levels of effort. No.
Oh shit. I mean, I can't retroactively spend it, so.
No. No. Yeah. So yeah, it's 2 down that 1, so 15. Yeah. So it's 15 or above. And let's see, Blix.
Blix, I got a 17.
Okay, so 15 or above. Okay, so 15. So 17. Sorry, what was it? 17, 4, which I understand. 16 and 14.
I got a 7. Chester got a 17. So it was
2, 17, 17, 4, and 13 for Oedipus.
Okay. Okay, that's fine then. Okay, so as you're flapping again, you're going to hit. You're going to make impact. You feel like it's not going to necessarily kill you. You've slowed down enough, but you're gonna hit. Yeah, those that got under 15 also Blix. 13. So yes, you're also skydiving, doing your thing, but you also realize, you know what, the math says I'm gonna get a hit, so you get into the right position or whatever you do, but you're gonna make some impact.
Right. At the last moment, I'd do cannonball.
Nice, exactly. Go in style. Go in style. Now you others are able to, again, flapping or holding out your overcoat there, or actually you actually just falling. There, Oedipus. you're able to stop right before you make impact. So, yeah, and you can smell, everything smells like pitch now, and tar, pine tar. So those roll for damage or for avoiding. It's not dodging, but I guess taking the impact. Those that hit, to see if you bypass.
Roll a
that.
d20.
Yep.
4. Ow.
Nope. This is just this is the basic avoid the damage roll, and yours is
Char, I think you're muted.
oops, I didn't hear that last part, Char.
Smoke got a 10.
10. Nope. Okay. So okay, the impact hits, it's 12 points of damage. It's heavy. Heavy.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yes, heavy damage, 12 points. So it's the equivalent of getting like a large caliber shot. I mean, you are smacking, hard. So yes, it's 12 points. Again, it starts with might. And let me know if you've depleted anything past the first pool. Oh, can't hear you, Shar.
Char, you're muted.
Still muted. No, we're having issues there. So, so at least Blix, there, you took you took 12 points of damage. Again, it starts in might. Did you diminish that pool to 0?
I had a. Are you talking to Blix or to Oedipus? I had a 17 on the roll for.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm
Okay.
sorry about that. I was mistaken. Yes, Oedipus. Sorry. So you failed the roll.
Yeah, I've updated my score. I'm at 2 in my mic pool.
Okay. And okay. And Smoke. What was yours? Oh, we're having.
She's her thing's all weird.
Okay.
But she's she's out of her might pool.
Okay, let me go and check her computer out real quick.
Okay. Well, actually, yeah. Can you hear us, Shar? Okay, she can hear because I'm telling you this is exactly where, and it's been our 3-hour mark exactly. This is actually where we're going to end the session today. So you are, if you did take 12 points of damage, and you guys are flapping there at the bottom, so you're not going to sink if you do go unconscious. Again, it's going to be rough. Now, this particular one this will be the first thing we do for next session for you in particular, those that dropped. This is going to lead to some lasting damage here. So this impact is not, again, this is Vurt. The impact is going to be long lasting and possibly permanent. We'll see what happens, but for now, you guys just know that you stop at impact. Now, I will say that the last thing that you guys notice, as 2 of you guys are able to flap and stop or yourselves right before, and 2 of you guys that are smack hitting through, and able to just barely stay afloat. Again, it's pitch, so it's super viscous and thick. All 4 of you guys, or all of you guys who are conscious at that point, realize that this island that you are aiming towards is actually the shore of land. It's not far away at all. You guys have managed to get yourself fairly close. You can see, let's see. You can see that far off there, on the shore, there's some trees. There's some really awful, not awful, but these rocks. There's something, it's a foul wind coming out. It smells awful. Let's see, image, castle, whole town. Okay, and this is what you're seeing. There's a walled castle area, again, just just offshore, probably 200 yards away, but this is what you can see. Right where the water ends, just past it on this island or this land here, you see a walled city. What looks like a city. It looks like medieval towers coming up. Kind of. There's signs. You can't quite read what it says yet, but there's this gigantic beast, creature, something out of myth, that's hovering above the city. And it looks like it's part cat. It looks like it's part claw. It looks like it's a huge amorphous ball of fur and fangs and whiskers, and it's all enveloped in flames. Um, you guys all know this because this is pretty, all featherheads know this. This is Akasha, and this is a demon that has, been spotted in the Vurt world, and this is something that is absolutely unbelievable to your eyes already. I mean, forget falling, 100 miles a second into the seas of pitch. This is something you thought you would never see, and it looks like it's hovering over this castle, this walled castle city, and it looks like it's getting closer and closer and closer, and you can hear the sound of loud purring.
At least he's happy.
Exactly. You hope that's what it is. Yeah. Yes. So that is exactly where we'll end.
We got announcements.
Yes, we have announcements. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. Thank you, Jack. So let's see what we've got here. Want to say a special thanks to the folks at Playforth. They had an excellent live stream last night. They're also playing Vurt. Definitely check them out. We'll put something in the chat here on Twitch, a link there. It was a lot of fun. Also, wanted to let everybody know that we're going to be making a large announcement here coming up, but we have an official UK release date for Vurt through Modifius. We're now going to be working with Modifius over there. So it's been very difficult for people in the UK to get their hands on a copy of Vurt without paying, a decent amount for shipping, this and that. Which is always the case, but this makes it a lot easier. So Modifius is going to be announcing it as well, and we'll start, through our social media outlets, we'll let everybody know. But that's really exciting news, especially for those of you across the pond who now, again, you'll be seeing it in the brick and mortar stores. You'll be seeing it, certainly able to order it directly from Modifius, and it'll be local for you. Let's see. I think that's about it. We're going to be doing this every 2 weeks. So the good news is when we start, especially next week, we're in the middle of an incredibly rare, incredibly lethal feather with a Vurt creature that has been, only seen once or twice, and maybe, read about, a couple times, but this is a situation where even for tier 3s, dragging themselves out of the seas of pitch are going to have the absolute fight for their lives. So we're in the Vurt now.
We make wise decisions. Just a series of absolutely, positively well thought out, reasoned paths.
But just think about it though. When we emerge victorious, we're going to wake back up in the real world in the worst toilet in Manchester.
Of course.
We've got that to look forward
There's
to.
nothing like fighting for your lives and then waking up in an outhouse from the 1500s. Like that's
exactly. Yes.
the life of true criminals right there.
Mhm.
We're not criminals. We're only criminals when we get caught.
So we were only criminals for like 5 minutes.
And no, we're not. It's all good. We're
We
businessmen.
consistently do criminal and criminal-like
Wait,
things.
wait a second. What do you mean you're not? You just punched?
Yeah, we punched the
guys
cop.
walked up and put in the middle of the
Basically
shadow
caused
cop.
a riot.
Well,
Aw.
that was because he fucked his imaginary sister. So
Oh yeah, exactly. Well, I'm sure they'll let you explain that, nice and slowly, and have you give your side of the story on your way to Strange Ways. So, no. In the meantime, you guys better avoid the MPD even more than you've thought about before. So, yeah, that's Boomer style. It sounds
Man,
like.
we did them a favor.
I love your logic. All right.
All right.
Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Thanks also to Lee Pruitt, who's been
Yay, Lee!
co-piloting and running this silently along
Also-
and coordinating, and also Mike.
Shout out to
Michael.
Mike for this crazy good software that he's running.
Yes,
This is
I will say
a
not only
home-brewed stream software.
yes,
So
and
good.
there's stuff that you guys aren't even seeing, like the dice rolling and it's tracking character sheet is fantastic, and he worked his butt off, and it's great. So I appreciate all, everybody, but yeah, today I'm really glad it all came across smoothly, and I can't believe you guys made it out of the situation you did, but that's the Boomers for you. So I'll see
We'll die
everybody
eventually.
in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Paint 3 stripes.
Nice. Take care. Thanks for watching.
Listen up, Kitlings. The only way out.